Shook him. Coming to light. Hello. Come back on him.
That was incredible. Dude, nobody better. Nobody. Hell yeah, guys.
I got y'all. I saw some of y'all jump the start there and put late too early. I got y'all in the YouTube chat. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another fun, now mid-September NWP. Man, where have the months gone? It has been a lot of fun. It's still a lot of fun to go. I, of course, am joined by my co-host. Over here is Eric Estep. Over here is Danny B Talks. And I am your host tonight, the Iceberg, Jarrett Lumberg. Guys, Bristol was actually really entertaining.
It really was. At some point, we're going to be starting this show at 6:55 Central Time. At some point, we're just going to keep moving the start time up so we can continue to beat the buzzer on the late. But yeah, the show coming to you next week at noon, and then we'll actually start at 9:30 in the morning. Like, we're just going to keep trolling with the start times, but
we'll still go until like 9:30, 10 o'clock p.m. Central Time somehow.
I love one thing off topic before we get into Bristol. We always we never coordinate our outfits. But like I've noticed the last few weeks, we've all been wearing like football gear, Vikings for you, usually Texans. We got Tennessee Vols and stuff over here. This week, though, we both went with baseball hats for no reason at all. Just coincidentally, we're both wearing baseball hats, and Danny's got the magic. Damn it, Danny! Danny, you just ruined it. Boo, he just put on a football hat.
Man. Boo.
I will never be without my balls. Good game. Heck of a game. If no one
have you recovered from Saturday? I will at Bristol. There were out in the fan zone areas. There were multiple big screens with dozens of Tennessee Vols fans watching the game pre-race.
Yeah,
like they had them set up around the fan zone and stuff. It was actually pretty well thought out.
It's a shame how it went down, but for once, I'm just glad we kept it close with those guys. It's been nothing but butt stompings for years, so we really needed that, no matter the outcome.
I was going to say, Danny, I was going to compliment your Magic Mile New Hampshire Motor Speedway T-shirt, which is
I am
very
on
fitting.
brand for this week at least.
Yes, good stuff. Sorry, Jarrett. You want to get into Bristol?
I was about to say, speaking of butt stompings, JGR as a whole was on it Saturday night. Now, the one that led the most laps didn't end up winning it, but it was pretty clear that if it was up to the racing gods not letting tires completely destroy their races, JGR was in the catbird seat to get the win. Christopher Bell, of course, getting that win. I'm sure we have a few commenters in here that are extremely happy about that. I saw some pre-stream on that one.
I saw a lot of Bell emojis.
And JGR sweeps the round of 16 with all three races won: Briscoe, Hamlin, and then Bell, and then there's Ty Gibbs in the background somewhere, But
he like 200 laps.
He did.
Bristol.
Then did he finish like 10th?
No, he finished 10th. Yeah, 10th place for old Ty Gibbs.
I see that they're wanting me to do this real quick.
Oh,
there we go.
Good call. Good call. No, Joe Gibbs Racing, dominant first round. Briscoe winning the Southern 500, Denny Hamlin winning at Gateway, and then Christopher Bell swooping in at the end to win Bristol. A race that, yes, I think Ty Gibbs and Chase Briscoe maybe led the most laps. So Joe Gibbs Racing firing on all cylinders. 3 very different track types, 3 different winners, all from under the same roof. And it's all of Toyota. Bubba Wallace had a really strong first round, earned more stage points than anyone else. John Hunter Nemechek had a couple of top 10 finishes. Corey freaking Heim finished 6th in like his 6th Cup start. I mean, Toyota just can do no wrong, it seems, generally speaking. They're not immune to the occasional F-ups, like Denny Hamlin had a wheel fall off. That's going to bite him here in a couple of weeks. But Toyota just, they're looking really, really good right now.
I thought for a split second, had Alex Bowman known how to get a good restart at all, he might have had a shot there. They definitely had him in a good position. So I think I had him as the underdog last week, and that was a good call.
Yeah, Alex Bowman, I think a couple of playoff guys deserve a lot of credit. First, Austin Cindric, who I thought was probably going to be safe. He entered that race plus 11, but there was no guarantee. It's Austin Cindric, Bristol, unpredictable. He shows up, qualifies 3rd, runs in the top 10 most of the night, would have probably gotten a top 10 finish if the car didn't catch fire. He did his job with his back up against the wall. So I wanted to give Austin Cindric a shout out. And then, yes, Alex Bowman, really, really good run. I thought if that race goes green, would he and Hocevar have been able to run down Brad Keselowski? I'm not sure, but it would have been fascinating to watch.
I think had they not got that fire out on Cindric, Bowman probably would be in the playoffs still.
It's a fair point, honestly.
I don't know if you saw it while you was in the media center or wherever you were at on the track, but when that was going down at one point, they were only a point apart from each other.
So I came down. I was up in the press box most of the night, which is like my first time ever in the press box anywhere. So shout out Bristol Motor Speedway for letting me get up in that bird's eye view. But I went back down into the track, and as I got into like the infield, very small infield at Bristol, obviously, I saw the smoke billowing from Cindric's box, and I ran over there, looked up at the like big screen, the big Colossus TV overhead, and saw it was a 1 to 2 point deficit. It was like Elliott and Cindric at that point were right there. Bowman obviously was. The thing is, I think Bowman was running.
I think he was second at the time.
I think he was second at the time. So I'm like, he can't really get any more points probably. It's going to be, can they get this fire out? And there was a report somewhere that Cindric's team was prepared after what happened to Josh Berry's team. I don't remember where I read that, but it's like they communicated after what happened to the 21. Be prepared, this could happen, and maybe that saved their season, frankly.
Well, it was the Fords that like had the worst of the, like everyone had at different points, maybe a little fire and then it went out, but the Fords like had the lasting fires. And of course, Josh Berry with just the no good, very bad, basically month now, 3 straight last place finishes. I mean, we knew he was probably like going to have to win in this race. And we knew that probably wasn't going to happen, but you'd think we would at least see some kind of valiant effort. I don't think that's ever happened to anyone in playoff chase history ever.
It has to be the worst playoff round ever, right?
I know SVG going in as high as he was and falling out is, pretty looming, but Josh Berry definitely had a worse time than SVG.
That is true. SVG at least had a 16-point lead that he coughed up.
He didn't finish last in any of the races, let alone all of them.
Yeah, no, but Josh Berry, and you feel bad. The first race was the team's fault. I think the setup was aggressive. He wipes out on lap 1. Second race wasn't his fault really at all. I mean, they were tight racing, but Chase Elliott kind of overcooked it and got into him. And then Bristol, I think it was kind of a roulette wheel, and it landed on 21, sadly. But yeah, that's miserable. That's rough.
Sticking kind of in the vein of JGR, and you mentioned it earlier. I mean, Briscoe and Ty Gibbs were the class of the field all night, and Ty Gibbs has run very well at Bristol before, and you kind of had the feeling that if this had to be his race to win. Like if he's not going to go out and lead a bunch of laps and challenge and then go and get the win, it's going to be a tough climb uphill for him to get any win by the end of the year. Bristol was kind of like all the eggs in that basket, it seemed like.
Yeah, I won't rule out like New Hampshire even, which has been good to JGR in the past. He'll have opportunities. I mean, that car should have a win by now. So it really is just,
He may win Talladega Fall. It feels like that's a race that more often not, someone who's not in the playoffs usually wins that one. So it might come at something like that even.
But I'm with you, Jarrett. Like this was his best track remaining, I think.
Is JGR the team to beat the rest of the way? I know there's been a lot of talk about that.
I mean, I think they're the most likely. I don't think it's a lock. I think now the question is, do they get more than 2? This will be fun. Over, under, not even over, under. Let's just go down the line. How many Joe Gibbs Racing, or let's just say Toyotas, because the 2311 cars are aligned with them. How many Toyotas make the championship 4? Originally, I had 2. I had 2 coming out. I had Bell and Hamlin. I want to add Briscoe now. And
yeah, honestly, Briscoe's my championship pick.
Bubba Wallace looks pretty good too. Like, I don't think it'll be 4. I think 4's, we're getting overzealous. But I think 3 is on the table. What do you think, Danny?
In terms of Toyotas in the final 4?
Yeah.
I'm going to go at least 2. Now, I'm not going to roll out Penske. Yeah, I'm really not. Like, they come into this, Cindric and Joey below the cutoff line, and we'll get into that more, I'm sure. But I like this round even for them. We know that they have good speed on flat tracks. Like, go back to, Cindric winning Gateway a year ago. I know didn't this year, obviously, but New Hampshire can be a good track for him. It's been a good track for Joey in the past. Kansas Speedway has been a good track for Joe Logano in the past. The Roval, well, I will say SVG is likely to win that. Cindric has a good road course experience, and he might come to play there too. So I'm not gonna say that they're in any danger in this round by any means. And then we get to that last round. Austin Cindric won Talladega earlier this year. I'm not gonna say that JGR is just guaranteed to get all their cars into that round.
I agree. I think there's a world, though. I think there is a realistic world where 3 Toyotas do make it, and that 1/4 guy is Ryan Blaney. I think there's a world now where Hendrick Motorsports, I think they're reeling a bit. There's a world maybe where Hendrick gets shut out of the championship for it. It's probably unlikely. Larson, Byron have a lot of playoff points stacked up, but that's a reality that could happen. That's the way I see it.
I'm looking at it again. I'm like, it wouldn't shock me if Cindric can get things together and he gets through this round, that he could come to play at like Talladega or something like that, and then Blaney win Martinsville. We could have, Blaney and Cindric potentially in the championship 4 even.
Oh man, we're talking Cindric in the championship 4. We're going off the rails
Hey,
here.
that's what this system's built on, Eric.
That would be quite the upset. That would be probably the biggest upset since Brian Newman made the championship 4. That was pre-playoff.
Ross Chastain could make it a few years back. Granted, that took the Hal Mellon, but still.
Man, all right. I don't know. We'll see.
I would probably say right now I'm favoring Bell and Briscoe. If I had to pick JGR
over Hamlin.
Well, it's Hamlin.
I can't say that I trust Hamlin. Because I trust Hamlin. I can't say that I can trust that something stupid doesn't happen to Denny Hamlin. Because for some reason,
driver's got a lawsuit on NASCAR right now.
For some reason, for 20 years, whether it be his own fault or not, Denny has Denny could be driving around the track just fine, and he'll be the lone car that gets hit by a meteor. Just like something can always happen. But I had said beforehand, I really didn't trust Bell unless he could prove to me he could go out and in one way or another win a race, because he had not won a race since those 3 in a row early in the season. Team had been a little bit off, but now that Joe Gibbs Racing is really heating it up, you got to think too, is that they might, Hamlin might run second in 2 of those races and then maybe crash out in Talladega, but those other 2 teammates would be the ones probably cannibalizing those wins. Briscoe could win on Martinsville and Bell could win a Vegas. And then you have Talladega that could be like the giant, axe thrown into the middle of that. Like, that's kind of how I see it, is like it's kind of like a Roush 2005. You kind of cannibalize your team by too much success, which is kind of crazy to think about.
I don't know. He's got the most playoff points right now. I think if I were tier listing the Toyotas right now, I actually would probably put Hamlin at 1, Briscoe at 2, Bell at 3, and then probably Wallace, Reddick 4, 5. That's probably how I would rate him right now.
I mean, granted, it's 3 races, to my opinion, it's still too small of a sample size to really take just a ton from. But I think Briscoe's led something like 450 of the 1,100 laps run in the first round. Like, he has led an insane amount of laps between, especially Darlington and Bristol. I think that 19 team's heating up like even more. Like, I think they're just getting better as that chemistry now is built. And like, if they're firing at all cylinders heading into that last round, like I think they're the favorites above all else to get in.
You know what's really wild about all this? The order of this first round went Briscoe, Hamlin, Bell. I wouldn't be shocked, New Hampshire, Kansas, Roval, if it went down that exact same way again.
Can you imagine the
Briscoe
reaction?
win New Hampshire, Hamlin win Kansas, Bell win the Roval.
That'd be insane, actually. Oof.
Well, before we kind of get into the grid side of it, we can honor our fallen playoff buddies here. Alex Bowman, Shane Van Gisbergen, and Austin Dillon, Josh Berry out.
I can't take my hat off because my headphones are blocking it. But
I'm gonna be honest, I'm not shocked by any of them. I'm a little bit by Bowman, but again, that team struggled. I can't say I'm super shocked though that any of them are out. I just want to say, and Danny, I know you'll take your victory lap in the prediction segment, but like as soon as I saw the reset and I saw how few points SVG was up, I was like, there's no way in hell he's making it. Like, no way.
Yeah. I look at I think I agree. I don't remember what we all picked. I had SVG, Dillon, and Barry out. I had Chastain out instead of Bowman. So Alex Bowman, mildly surprising. I mean, he was the 16 seed with no wins, but he was on a pretty solid roll, top 10s, good speed the month or two before the playoffs.
He had never been eliminated in this round, period, when he's made the playoffs.
I did not even know that, but that's a great point as well. That backs up my original prediction that has now unfortunately been proven wrong. So I'd say Bowman's a slight surprise. We get a Hendrick cars now out of the playoffs. So now officially, I mean, I guess Penske, if you include Barry, Gibbs with Ty Gibbs, and now Hendrick and Bowman, the big three teams now are officially down one soldier as we head into the round of 12. So it's kind of an evenly matched battle there. Danny, I want to get your take though as a Bowman fan. Like, he had some good moments this year, but still kind of looked like the fourth Hendrick car. Like, are you worried at all for Bowman's job security going into, contract talks next year? Do you think Blake Harris or the team needs a overhaul?
I mean, it doesn't feel like Blake Harris is the right fit. But I mean, he had such a great crew chief before, good relationship with him. He steps away just for personal reasons. It's hard to fill that role when you have a driver and crew chief that had pretty good chemistry like him and Greg Ives did. But it's I don't know. A lot of people have been saying for years, "Oh, Bowman's got to go. Bowman's got to go. He's not as good as teammates." Well, what do you expect? I mean, it's like looking at the let's just say me and Eric's AFC South and saying, "Oh, the Titans should be kicked out because they're not as good as the other three." Well, there's four guys. They can't all be on the exact same level as one another, So what do? You kick out Alex Bowman and you bring up who's even next in line for that? Because we got Zillish already going somewhere. So
I don't
who do you replace him with? That's the question. Who do you think is going to be better than Alex Bowman? And what happens when you put him in there and he's putting up worse numbers?
That's the hard part. There will be a lot of free agents potentially next year, but I'm with you. Like, last year, there were the rumblings that Justin Haley might have had a handshake deal to go in that car at some point. And then, I don't know, now I feel like Justin Haley's stock, if you will, is pretty low. There's talks he may not even stay at Spire. So, like, yeah, would Kyle Busch be an upgrade over Bowman 5 years ago? Absolutely.
Would Carson
Hocevar? I mean,
he's got more upside.
And I think
he's got more upside.
I think I would be okay if Carson and Alex essentially swapped seats and Alex took the 77. Because I don't think that Alex Bowman needs to take a major downgrade in any way if he's no longer Hendrick Motorsports. Kind of like, well, to a lesser extent, we saw JJ Yaley. He stepped out of the 18 and he went to the 96, which was supposed to be getting support from JGR. Wasn't great support, and that just didn't go well. But that was JJ Yaley versus Alex Bowman.
The first team of the JGR graveyard of support.
Yeah. So I don't know. The 77 with Hocevar has had moments where it looked like I could win races. So if Alex Bowman does have to step away from his time at Hendrick Motorsports, been a good run, and I'd probably still keep supporting him no matter where he went.
He could probably. I mean, I don't know who would be in there, but if Cindric doesn't perform, maybe the 2 is an option for him. It'd be kind of a lateral move.
I was talking about that with MVR owner this week a little bit in some text, and I thought that was interesting because it made me think, well, wait a minute. Didn't Alex Bowman originally start in ARCA as a development driver for Penske?
Did he? I don't even know.
So, right?
He did.
You would know.
He did.
Yeah, that's interesting. Go ahead, Jarrett.
And I said this in my post-race stream, and I know that the team is, I think, if you're looking at the pie chart of blame here, is the biggest reason. By a large margin, that he's eliminated. But to me, it is inexcusable for a Hendrick Motorsports car to be bounced in the first round, just like it is for Team Penske. And I'm talking the main team, like Team Penske and Joe Gibbs Racing. And I kind of put him in the same bin right now as and I think he's above these guys, but as a Ty Gibbs, Austin Cindric, like y'all need to prove it. And if he had gotten a win during the season or had run like his teammates did and earned more stage wins and playoff points and all of that, Alex Bowman would be in right now, but he's not because he didn't perform up to the standard Hendrick Motorsports is at. So there's two options. We just talked about the nuclear option of getting a new driver, or it's Rick Hendrick goes in and shuffles things up, and he's been proven to do that before. And I would trust the brain trust of Hendrick, Gordon, and Knaus to figure something out like that, whether it be internal, around him, whatever that might be. But I do think that things need to change for that 48 because I thought going into this year he was somebody who could be a sneaky round of 8 entrants. Like I really did.
Yep,
but
I agree.
He's woefully under performed, and I think that some things need to change.
Yeah, and I think that's the point, is this elimination as far as the last 3 races aren't on the driver. What's on the driver, at least partially, is the last 3.5 years where he's only gotten 1 win, and it was a darkness shortened rain road course race. I mean, like that's the problem. That's why I agree. I think they probably do need to shake things up, or if they don't, if they run it back with Harris and Bowman, I think those first few months next year are going to be pivotal, because if they slump or if they lag behind like they always have, a lot of free agents to go talk to. I could see a host of I'll say this also. I asked the question about pressure because I think Eric Hendrick and them have already sent a message that they need to shake things up, because they swapped out half the pit crew this week. Pit crew messed up 2 weeks in a row. They said, all right, that's not good enough. You're out. New guys, you're in. So if it goes on much longer, driver and crew chief could be next on the chopping block.
What's funny is they had swapped with Hocevar's team. Is that who they swapped with?
Yeah.
And at the end, but until that last caution came out, Hocevar was actually shaping out to beat Bowman. That was the funny thing.
It was literally, it looked like it was going to be decided by pit strategy between the 2 rival pit crews that had just swapped. It was
just a note.
It was crazy.
Just a note for the sake of fair and respectful journalism. I verified. No, Alex Bowman was not a Penske development driver. He ran for Cunningham Motorsports in ARCA, which did run Penske font in the number 22, and it was a Dodge, but they were not specifically Penske affiliated.
Good to know. Look at that. Big J journalism on the NASCAR Weekly podcast.
And with that, as we've now been respectful to the fallen playoff drivers, the 12 remaining. They've been going on the bottom of the screen, but we have a graphic for it too. I got to say, I'm just still so surprised 29 points is the gap between first and 12th. Like,
no one's running away with it this year. I mean, like, I think everyone on the left side of that column is a very realistic and, in my eyes, valid champion at this point.
There is no big 3 this year by any means.
No, it's a sinister 6.
I gotta say, that lack of wins for the 9 team is now starting to bite them. Those wins they let slip away. You're plus 5 going into the round, and it shapes up decently. Like, it is a decent set of tracks for him. But you can say the same thing about Bubba Wallace. You could say the same thing about Joey Logano, and to a degree, Tyler Reddick. Though
Ross Chastain won Kansas last year.
I'll tell you what worries me in this list. I like these first 2 tracks for Bubba Wallace, but that +1 scares me because I do not like the Roval for him.
He's actually has a top 10 finish in average finish in the Roval era, or the next gen era at the Roval. Like, he's actually been consistently good at the Roval. Like, I
still wouldn't trust him, but yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. I would say I wouldn't trust him over the 6 in the other column, but I trust him way more than any of the others in the right-hand column.
I think I trust Bubba more than Reddick. And Reddick is good. It's really good. And I think he'll be fair to his next 2 tracks. But I worry about Reddick's pit crew and when the pressure is on, because I feel like that's when it really gets to them.
It's a good point. What do you guys think? Who gets eliminated?
I was about to ask, who are your 4? Because I have one that might surprise people, but I'm not sure.
I
If
feel
We
like
might have the same one. I don't know.
we might be similar here.
Throw that graphic back up, Jared. I can go first if you want.
Go for it. Go for it.
So I originally, my 8 are still alive that I originally picked. I had originally Logano, I guess Chastain, Cindric, Bubba, and who did I have last? I guess Logano, Chastain, Cindric, Wallace. Those are my 4 I had out originally. Sorry. I think Bubba's going to get in. I think Bubba Wallace has proven over the last 2 months, really since that Brickyard 400 win, they are legit just about everywhere. So I think Bubba's going to get in. The question is, can Logano stay alive? Can Reddick overcome that 3-point deficit? And my prediction is that Tyler Reddick will. I think Toyota will get 5 cars into the round of 8. I think Chase Elliott is the guy in the danger zone. So that's my take. And I have a feeling that might have been where you were going with it, Jarrett. So I hope I didn't spoil your
No,
surprise.
it is, but at the same time, like, and a lot of them also watch my video where I said it earlier this week. I have Elliott, Cindric, Chastain, and Reddick. I don't trust.
You believe in Logano. You believe in Joey. Okay.
I don't believe in Joey. I believe in the devil magic surrounding Joey that always manages to get him through this. And I made the mistake multiple times before in odd and even number years to discredit the 22 and be like, nah, he's out. I ain't making that mistake again. I'll wait till I'm wrong on that one.
Fair enough.
I also am with you guys. I have Chase Elliott being eliminated this round. In my opinion, the 9 has been, these last few races, has been putting up just similar effort to the 48, in my opinion. It's not been that impressive to me. I don't see Elliott advancing past this round. Along with him being eliminated, I'm going to say Chastain is eliminated. I'm going to say the 45 gets behind things and they don't get through. And it's a toss-up between Bubba and Logano, but I trust Logano a little bit more. So I would have Elliott, Chastain, Bubba, and Reddick going out this round.
I see both 2311 cars out. Interesting.
And I have all 3 Penske's moving forward because I just trust them at this point in the season.
I think New Hampshire this weekend, which I know we'll preview at the very end of the show, but I think New Hampshire I'm glad this is the first race of this round, not because I think it's going to be a barn burner, but it's a short, flat oval, which I think will really, again, show us where Team Penske's at. But they're using the same tire that they used at Richmond a few weeks ago, which Austin Dillon won. And if you'll remember, the 2311 cars led a ton of laps. The Penske guys were pretty good. This is also the same tire that was used at Martinsville and North Wilkesboro, both JGR wins. And I think there was one other place this tire was used. I don't remember. Maybe Bowman Gray, which was a Elliott win, but that was February. It's going to be interesting to see how this New Hampshire race goes, because I think if Logano isn't above the cut line after New Hampshire, I don't think he has a chance.
I will point out he was one of the ones at the tire test there, and people said like he had a ton of speed, and we've heard that before, but I would take that into account with like all of Penske this week.
Yes. And on that note as well, Bell did the tire test. We obviously know he's great in New Hampshire, but Ross Chastain, the guy we all have getting eliminated, also did that tire test like a month ago. So we're discounting Ross, but shoot, he could win. You never, who knows how valuable that test truly was. I'm sure it's worth something.
Well, we can, I think, move on. We have the ratings for this week. So buckle down, get ready. It's funny. It's not the 900,000 that a lot of people in the chat were saying it was going to be. They're like, there's not even going to be a million this week. And there were. It was a 0.79 rating. With 1.536 million viewers, down 16% from last year, and the lowest watched Bristol night race in the race's history that's ever been recorded, which is a damn shame, because between the craziness with the tires and the fact that I honestly thought this felt like the most old Bristol kind of race we've gotten since 2006. Like, it's a damn shame people didn't see it.
I'm not trying to keep correlating the Tennessee college football stuff, I promise, but
Yeah.
The ratings for that come out this week, and it was 12.6 million. It peaked at 15 million people watching that game. And I'm
Wasn't that
like,
done like before the race though?
it crossed over a little bit. It was still going on while the race was getting started. So at that point, if you're a lot of the Tennessee people who probably still would watch that race, you're just feeling like I don't feel like watching anything after that.
You're burned out. Well, Danny, do you know off the top of your head how that college football, like, I don't know what the comparable game or rating would be to last year, but like, are college football ratings up to start the year? I would imagine yes, only because they've scheduled a lot more big games.
They're very much up, more so than usual this season. I feel like. I know that was the number one most watched game of the entire weekend was Tennessee, Georgia.
And I remember the Texas Ohio State was like Fox's biggest week one
ever.
Yeah, and some of that is they used to not schedule big games this early in the year usually, but yeah, that's the thing is I think this rating, it's obviously not a good sign. This is 3 weeks in a row where you've lost at least a couple 100,000 viewers year over year, so it's not good for NASCAR. But I would also look around the landscape and say just about every sport that's not football has dropped over the last 10, 15, 20 years. And it does feel in a weird way now that we're in the fall season officially that college football and the NFL are drowning out the competition more so than ever before. Maybe this is anecdotal. I feel like more and more my algorithms are feeding me more and more football than I could ever remember. Like I used to consider myself a fair weather football fan. I can't get away from the football content.
Dude, I am your wife would appreciate hearing this. I am a Tennessee fan, but X is giving me nothing but the Auburn, Oklahoma banter this week, and I don't even follow these accounts. I'm like, okay, wait, I like.
Yeah, I feel like
fans love the chaos, but come on, I don't even like these teams.
I feel like I'm in a different planet because I have had none of that experience this week.
It's so weird. I'm not trying to
interact with.
Yeah, I'm not trying to make excuses because there's obvious endemic problems with the sport. They're not reaching the core audience like they should, and they're obviously not breaking into new audiences as they should. But there's also the real things like USA Network cuts. There's more cord cutters every year. Football is it's always been competition. I feel like it is bigger than ever before now. Like there are some, call them excuses you can make. At the end of the day, though, NASCAR needs to make more inroads. If you keep letting football drown you out year over year over year, eventually there's no coming back from it. So yeah, it's a shame to see the first few races of the playoffs. Now the ratings are just the one that just really just baffles me was the Darlington rating, that like 1.8 million people or whatever it was tuned into the Southern 500. I get it's on USA Network. It's been on USA Network before and not done that bad. So that's the one that really to me was like, holy moly, what just happened? And is it coincidentally, week one of college football, week one of the NFL? I mean, I don't know, but it's
IndyCar ending one day and it's starting to make more and more sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, IndyCar ended right before football and got a big rating. So I think there's a lot of problems NASCAR has. I think one of their biggest problems though is the NFL in the fall it's more dominant than ever before, and college football is on their heels as well.
Well, I mean, that's at least in the short term, but I would say with the heavy-handedness of cable in it, NASCAR signed a bad deal outside of the money. Like it's a bad deal. I mean, listen to this. Since the first week of March, we've had 2 network races.
Yeah, no, I agree.
2. Mm-hmm. Whereas last year, from the beginning of March on, we had like 15 or like,
do you know the data, Jarrett? Is this season the most cable races in NASCAR history?
Yeah, I don't even have to look at it. Yeah, because
that's unfortunate.
Because even the first, because you had like TNN and other ones like that, but you usually had about like 10 races that would end up being on one of the major channels, at least since the 90s for sure. I mean, the 2001 to 2006 deal had like maybe 3 or 4 races a year on FX, maybe 5 to 6 on TNT. You had 13 Fox races starting in 07 to 14 on top of 12 and then to 3 ABC races, and then you had the most recent deal we had. And I don't, I'm saying in here, a lot of people talking about it, and it's like TNT is still good. No, it's not. It's like the network is nosediving right now. Behind the scenes is a complete mess, and all of their major sports are either jumping ship or making huge cuts. There's just no way around it. They took, like we talked about it the last couple of weeks, they took the money and ran, and it was at our expense as fans.
So
Yeah, I think so. Go ahead, Danny. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I'll just make this note real quick. I just got curious because I was like, we're up NBC for this portion of the year. So I was like, well, before NBC, NASCAR will be on ESPN during this time of year. That was the last broadcaster who had the rights to this portion of the season. And back then, well, felt like it was okay, but they were still competing with football, I'm sure, because they were hosting a lot of football games, like per day, per week. So I was like, how many football games does NBC host a week between college and NFL? Of the networks they could be with, this is actually the one network who cares the least about football. They have one Sunday night NFL game, and they have one Saturday night, Big Ten Saturday night is what they label it as. So they only have 2 football games per week that NBC does.
And
of the networks they could be with,
yeah.
Well, not typically even then. They do other ones now too, but still, they have one per week. Or for college, one NFL per week. So of the networks, they're with the one that theoretically on paper doesn't do as much football.
And that's why they paid NASCAR the big money to have the races this time of year. So now Jarrett's exactly right. And we knew this coming in. We knew they went the opposite route of IndyCar. IndyCar said, let's make our races accessible. Let's hopefully expose them to more people. We're going to take less money. May not be great for the health in the short term of our teams, our tracks, but we need the exposure. NASCAR said, hey, people still know what NASCAR is. The teams are over here wailing about more money. Let's get them and ourselves in the tracks. Let's get the industry more money and hope our viewers are willing to adapt. I think it was always going to be a trade-off. I don't think anyone was surprised when the Amazon Prime viewership was a little lower than most cable races. TNT, which was new this year, down a little bit. I think the only, ratings really haven't been a topic of conversation all year until the last few weeks because we've been on USA Network. The Southern 500's been on USA Labor Day weekend for years now. Why was there such a drop-off this year suddenly? Is it the car? Is it the playoffs? Is it
fatigue?
Cable subscribers going down? Is it football? Is it now it's just everyone's suddenly searching for answers because it's the last few weeks really where this has suddenly gotten to a point where I don't think everyone expected the summer ratings to go down. And they did. We expected that. Fine. Nobody expected the fall ratings to drop like they have the last few weeks. And that's why this has become a talking point. So, yeah, I don't know. I think NASCAR probably has access to far more data than we do. I'm sure they're parsing through it. But for the time being, they got the money. The teams got their money. Fans are going to have to work a little harder to watch races, unfortunately.
Well, one thing they don't have to work hard to do because it's easily accessible is vote on the poll each week. I asked them what they thought of the Bristol night race. 13,000 responded. 63% said it was a great race. 26 good. So 89% net positive, which is looking down top one of the playoffs, obviously. But outside of the summer Daytona race and the Atlanta summer race, that's pretty much one of the top races of the year, especially of the summer into fall. Then 7% average, 4% negative. Spencer Purcell was the first commenter. Was it positive, negative, or meme?
I see Spencer in the chat. I'm going to say meme. Although he says I picked great, so maybe it's positive.
I'm going to go positive. It was a crazy race.
He says pretty much the whole race Saturday night in a nutshell. Quote, "You need tires, you idiot."
So it's a meme this time.
There it is. Yep.
I forgot to add too that this is the 4th ranked Bristol race that we've done on the poll out of 12. Only beat out by the 2020 Bristol spring race at 93% positive.
I remember
the
that
2021 night race. And we were all at the 2019 night race, which I believe is the top, either the top 1 or top 2 or 3 voted on the poll all time.
Wow. So, that's crazy. This race being the least watched night race at Bristol ever is being seen so positively by those who watched it.
Hopefully that means next year's night race goes up. I don't know.
Just any race at Bristol goes up at that rate.
Jarrett, never mind. This is a topic. This is a question for you after the show because it's going to require you to rifle through your papers, and I don't want to make you do that when we're supposed to be hosting the podcast. But so never mind. Off topic. We can move on.
I'll have
Give me more
papers.
comments.
I just want to say one quick thing. So I was trying to look this up while we were on the topic of the ratings earlier. We have 27 tracks a year. I know NASCAR doesn't want to do this, but if it ever came to a point that we just can't do this in the fall no more, 27 races in a single season, it's decided by points. Just saying.
It just becomes what the regular season is now.
Which the data shows fans watch, I guess. So I guess there's that.
Yeah.
We just cut out the TNT parts in USA.
Yeah. I'm going to ask the question anyways, because I want to, if maybe it's easy for you to get. I'm curious. So 2024 Spring Kansas, one of the best races we've ever seen, ended with the crazy photo finish between Buescher and Larson. One of the highest rated races, I'm sure, in our poll and every poll's history.
I think that is number one, I think.
What were the TV ratings for Spring 2025 higher or lower for that race?
Well, you got to remember that race had a 3-hour delay as well, so that didn't help it.
Right. You're right. Never mind.
It was even.
It was even.
So
that's
network,
my thing.
same date.
Fans are always on us, like, hey, or not on us, but like on the sport. Like, you got to make the racing has to be better. That'll bring viewers back. The best race in Kansas ever, and less people tuned in the following year. I don't think it's the racing. I think there's just so many other factors beyond simply one thing. So yeah, in other words, it sounds like the Bristol night race is going to keep plummeting in viewership. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Tires be damned.
Now, fun stuff though. The comments. Raphael says Josh Berry officially has the worst playoff run of all time, last in every race. Lunar Lander says that was great racing. I really liked that the tires lasted longer as the temps came down. That feels like that was the sweet spot. Robert says almost classic Bristol. As someone that grew up watching 90s Bristol, this was pretty damn close to that. Really enjoyed it. I gotta say I agree. I mean, I thought this was as close as you're gonna get.
Brad sure tried to see if it was classic Bristol. He could do a bump and run. And if anything, he bumped and sent the guy forward more.
He threw out the first pitch at the Red Sox game, and a fan literally yelled at him and said, "Hit Bell harder next time."
It was a combination of things. Brad hit him perfectly square. He didn't like turn him awkwardly. And then also Bell said he backed up the corner. So Bell was going a little slower than usual on entry. So I think the boost wasn't as jarring. Like, it just kind of got him back up to his normal speed. So it was smart defense. And then you got to hit people really hard in this car to make that kind of difference.
Last couple here. Lazarbro says NASCAR has to move this race back to August. I feel like that would not get us the temperature, though. And then Oscar says peak Goodyear aura, which leads us now to the gutter, which I got from.
The only bad point about the August, look at what happened at the baseball game. Just saying.
Do they even bring it back next year, though? After how much of a
definitely not.
disaster
Definitely
it was.
not. They're not doing that baseball game next year.
Yeah. Connor leaves the gutter comment, says, might be an unpopular opinion, but this race was terrible. It felt like a super speedway race, and this car is the worst thing to ever happen to motorsports. So Connor, tell us how you really feel.
I can't really disagree with everything he said.
That was the poll. There were two other races to talk about this past weekend. The Xfinity race. Actually, I thought the Xfinity race was pretty fun as well. I was surprised the races got better as the weekend went on. I was not expecting that.
I would agree.
I'd say ARCA actually was pretty good. But ARCA at Bristol is always pretty good. But overall, I honestly thought this was probably one of the most enjoyable Bristol weekends. Maybe I'm biased here because I was there since 2019 for me. Where I enjoyed aspects or a lot of every race that I watched.
I think the original spring 2024 tire fiasco weekend, I was there for that one. I think that was a little bit more fun because it caught us off guard. We had never seen that before. But then this one was good in the sense that, oh, hey, we haven't seen that in a couple times since 2024. I can't believe it's back.
It's like welcoming an old friend.
Yeah, it's so hard for me to have a perspective on that because this was my first Bristol weekend in 5 years, really 6 years since I was at like a full race. So it's like Yeah, I thought every race was a blast, but also I had a bird's eye view in the stands, up high for all of them. I didn't have to watch strictly what TV showed me. So it's hard for me to say how good every single race truly was compared to past years. I thought the Xfinity race was fun though. I mean, it looked like Connor Zilich, he had to work for it. Sam Mayer put up a great fight much of the night. But it looked like Zilich had his 5th straight win in his sights. They opted for tires, and the tires didn't really wear in Xfinity like they did in Cup, so Almirola was able to hang on. But Sheldon Creed, 15th second place finish without a win still. So that's the bad news. But he's now above the cut line, and he rallied at the end.
And it was interesting that with Almirola winning this, they had talked about like how they figured out the strategy, and it was like looking back at like an old race that Noah Gragson ran, and how it was like 100+ laps on the same set of tires. As long as you got that track position, that's the thing is like Bristol definitely still has, I think, work long term to do. Just because I don't think it's perfect. I think this weekend and especially the Cup race, just perfect circumstances to produce some pretty good racing. But I have to say, like, I love hearing like how, because Denny always talks about this, but hearing like Almirola, another driver from that generation, talk about how he and his team do their homework before, and that's how they find out some of these crazy ass strategies and other things like that. I think Almirola has the same amount of Xfinity Series career wins, or is like right near Connor Zilich, which is kind of funny to say.
I actually didn't know Almirola had that many.
9 or 10, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. Chad will let me know. Speaking of Zilich, he got his 15th straight top 5 in a horrible race. I mean, it was just terrible, man.
I thought he was going to win it. He was up there for a while.
I mean,
Killed
look
his
at
average
him.
finish.
Oh no, he has more than Almirola.
Oh, he's all Almirola got a ways to go to catch 19-year-old Connor Zilich.
Oh my God. Yeah, there is Zilich all the way back in 5th. What he's falling off, man. I don't know. Like this hype train is off the rails.
I want to give a couple of shout outs. Jeremy Clement's 9th place effort. I feel like it's become harder and harder in recent years for those truly independent teams to crack the top 10 on a regular basis. Like Clements was a playoff driver just a couple of years ago. So for him to finish 9th, been kind of an up and down year. That was cool. And then I know I give this guy a shout out every week because shoot, he's earning it every week.
Boy.
Brennan Poole, another top 10. That's 5 straight top 15s for the Alpha Prime Racing driver. He tells me all the time, like they're balling on a budget. He said to me this week, they have probably the 34th largest budget in the Xfinity series, and they've been top 18 in points all year, ran top 10 all night long. Was really impressed to see what he could do.
And especially after the spring race too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Back from that huge impact. Yeah, no, for sure.
I'll give a shout out just outside of the top 10, Dean Thompson, 12th place in a number 26 car. Good for Dean. Good to see him making some noise in Xfinity Series a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I really like that kind of 7th to like 19th scrum. Is just so fun to watch.
Oh, and I want to give Harrison Burton a shout out as well. I know he's in the playoffs, but I don't think anyone expected him to make a lot of noise in these playoffs. He was top 10 all night, plus above the cut line now. So, no, good news for Harrison. And yeah, I see the comments. Yeah, that's right. I did have a cameo on TV pre-race. Hopefully people saw the pre-race show. I'd been doing a few content things the last couple of weeks with East Tennessee Foundation, who are still working on raising and allocating money for the region in the wake of Hurricane Helene. And it was their idea actually to have me be a part of their pre-race segment on the CW. So that was really cool. I got to the folks from the CW came out before the race and like mic'd me up and gave me some of those like CW crew. Hold on. I think I have them.
While you're getting them,
I kept them as a souvenir. This looks so professional. I got to like write down some like notes and stuff on here and like hold it. So
I do got to say, we got to teach the people at CW how to pronounce your name, though.
Oh, did they mispronounce it? I didn't even hear.
Yeah, she said, let's go to Eric Estep.
That's okay. That one's okay. I live with that one. I've heard Esteep or Estes or no.
You gave us you kind of gave us like a really short heads up, like, hey, like this is happening, and right before you posted the thing on Twitter, and so like I surprised Riss. I'm like, hey, come watch really quick. She's like, oh my god, Eric's on TV.
Yeah, I was afraid to like tweet anything ahead of time because I didn't want to like overhype it. I didn't want people to be like, "Hey guys, I'm going to be on
30-second
TV."
thing.
Yeah, and because I had no idea. We filmed like it was like 60 seconds is what we filmed, but like for all I knew, I was going to be on camera for 3 seconds, and I don't know what it was ultimately, but it was like I didn't want to like overhype it too much. I should have given y'all more of an advance warning because
Well,
I
do
know
you remember?
like,
You remember in 2020 and also 2021, we'd always know if there was a rain delay of some kind or anything because Eric, you and I would probably get tweeted like, "Hey, David,
yeah.
Eric, you're on TV
Yeah.
from the fit was it 100,000 cameras or whatever it was."
Yeah, that's
for
right.
Darlington.
We had that little cameo for the first pandemic race. Yeah, so that was cool. I forgot about that deal with Fox. That was really neat. And then yeah, I love the mispronunciations in the chat. Eric Escalator. Eric,
Escalators.
that's funny.
Eels.
But yeah, I got my souvenirs. I'm gonna like put these somewhere. I don't know.
Should put them up on the wall, but one of them that had the CW
Yeah.
NASCAR thing on the wall, and then have it one of them the other way with the notes that you took. That way, you like have both sides of it.
One quick
For
thing
sure.
before we move on from the Xfinity Series. Who did not have a good time at Bristol this weekend? America's favorite blue collar team, RCR. Austin Hill, 19th. Jesse Love, 25th.
I love that you
Brutal.
don't let that go either. Every time you talk about RCR, I absolutely love it.
I mean, they drop a grade A meme on us like that, man. We're never living that one down.
But it'll be about as down as they are in points right now. We got the kind of cutoff grid that's pretty close still. I'm going to say the Sammy Smith
had an
out.
engine issue. Yeah, he had
He's
an engine
out.
issue, so he's in a tough spot.
I don't see him winning, and I think he's going to have to win.
Probably.
I can't see him outrunning 4 of those guys ahead of him, like because he's been around all of them all year or below all of them all year.
They've got Kansas and the Roval left. Do y'all think Austin Hill survives?
Yes.
Yeah, I can see him getting top 5 in those.
I think so too, because just of who's ahead of him, like Taylor Gray and like Nick Sanchez might get some stage points, might not. I think Austin Hill probably will.
I think he gets bailed out by competition more than performance, and then he gets set up really damn well in the final round. So I still think he makes it in. If he struggles this week, or not this week, I should say, next week, then okay, yeah, then we can start having some serious conversations about him.
Who worries me, and it's crazy, Sheldon Creek got to second place, and he's still close to that border. That's the interesting detail of this all. So he's got to keep going a little bit more. Who scares me the most, I think it's honestly the JGR cars of Brandon Jones and Taylor Gray for some reason.
I'll say Jones, I don't feel as iffy about. Gray as much as I'm kind of higher on him. I'm like, yeah, I'm with you on that. Because but that's the thing. I've seen Brandon Jones in person win at Kansas. So it's like, I could see, I think he's definitely an undervalued pick if you want a dark horse to like bet on. Like he is.
How do you
such
feel
an
about Harrison Burton right now?
He might sneak through this first round. I'll give him that, which would be pretty incredible.
He's just got to get points like early in the race, like build up the gap and then just play defense the rest of the way with a good finish. That's pretty much like that's been his MO all year. And he's just keeps going.
On Brandon Jones, you mentioned Jarrett, you've seen him win Kansas. I've seen him win Phoenix. If he makes it, just saying.
Gonna win Martinsville a couple years ago and qualify in.
I do got to say this. I made this note while I was watching the Bristol race on Friday. Brandon Jones he does look so much better behind the wheel of a JGR car than he ever did in a JRM car. I don't know why that deal didn't work out, but he went back home, if you will, to JGR, and he just feels like that's where he needs to be in the Xfinity Series. He had a stint for a long time at RCR. He did a while at JGR, won a lot of, I don't want to say a lot, won quite a few races with them. That didn't work out at JRM, but he's back home where he belongs.
Well, and then we had one other race this past weekend, the Truck Series race. I'm gonna be real. This probably was the dud of the weekend for me. There was the spin and win fun.
Yeah, the fact that Riggs came from last to first to win was entertaining. I'll give it that. But yeah, this was the race where like tires mattered the least. Corey Heim was able to hold on to the lead for like a long time, despite being on 50 lap older tires. And usually you'd say, well, that's just Corey Heim. He's great. He wasn't great on Friday or Thursday night. He was probably like a 7th place truck. He drug it to 3rd or 4th or wherever he finished, but like that was not a winning combo. And he was able to win a stage on old tires. So yeah, it was an all right race. Lane Riggs, though, great short track racer, deserving winner. Quite the statement to kind of move through the playoffs here.
Really unfortunate what ended up happening to Jake Garcia. He had a very fast truck. He led 14 laps. He had the fastest lap of the entire race, but he comes home 33rd in this one.
I'm gonna put a hot take out there. I think Lane Riggs is right up there as like 1A, 1B favorite now with Corey Heim. It's not 1 and 2. I think the 11.
I'm penciling them both in for Phoenix, basically.
I think the 11 team has enough to get there. They'll be fine without a catastrophic failure at the home stretch before Phoenix. The 11 will be there, but that 34, just like last year, gets faster as the year goes on and is really good at like any track under a mile. And
so what are you saying? Are you saying that when they both get to Phoenix, you think it's 50-50 who wins it?
I think Lane Riggs 1A and Corey Heim's the 1B.
So right now, if they both make Phoenix, you're saying probably 60-40 in favor of Lane Riggs.
51-49, 60-40, like in that range. But
okay.
if gun to my head, I'd put the money, and I put it in my predictions, gun to my head, I'd put the money on the 34 for that race.
I think that's fair. At this point, if Phoenix was tomorrow and it was those two for the championship, I think that's fair. If you pick Lane over Heim, I'd say that's unreasonable. But I think there's still a chance in the round of 8 that Riggs flames out and misses. I think there's no chance Heim misses the championship for. I would still say there's a chance, maybe a small chance, but there's still a chance Riggs goes through one of those weird slumps or makes a mistake. I mean, he made a mistake lap 1 at Bristol. He's lucky he didn't get wrecked harder, and was out of the race. He's like, he wasn't out of the race lap 1. So I think I would balk at your take only because I think there's still a realistic shot Riggs flames out before Phoenix. But if he gets to Phoenix, I'm with you. I might give him the slight edge over Heim just because of how good he is at short flat tracks.
Well, I just got to point this out. I know it's only just Bristol to go off of here, basically, but I talked about how good Jake Garcia looked. They're actually, as a whole, 4Sport looked good this weekend. Ben Rhodes got 2nd, Majeski 4th, Matt Crafton 10th, actually.
Oh, yeah, wow, good for him.
They look legit. And they've looked better in recent weeks. I'll pop up the
they're kind of like a Logano. Don't doubt them when the playoffs come around.
I know Garcia is -14 as they run, but if ThorSport is starting to get better and better, like I can't say I trust Raja to advance on.
Yeah. Or Caden Honeycutt, even for that matter.
Yeah, I mean,
there's some doubts there.
I will say though, Chandler Smith, like anything that can happen has so far.
Man, he should have been right there with Lane Riggs for this run, in my opinion. I don't know what's going wrong.
He was running 4th when they had, what was the issue they had this weekend? Chat remind us. Something broke, obviously. He was running like 4th when it happened.
I feel bad saying that these truck races are just so damn bland with the way Fox covers them. And then you have Eric Brennan, the GOAT on the ARCA side, who's just like nailing it. Power steering.
Power steering. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. No, I was in the press box for this and they had the TV broadcasts, and yeah, not to make this a TV debate or discussion. I don't want us to get off the rails, but to go from the Eric Brennan led ARCA booth to the Jamie Little led truck booth was jarring to say the least. And I think she had Harvick and Logano had been there as well, trying to, as the color commentators, and they were okay, but it was just the whole thing felt disjointed compared to the ARCA broadcast, and the ARCA race obviously was no classic. So it was jarring to see that difference back to back like that.
So man. Well, that was a fun, big, long weekend for sure.
Eric Brennan's going to get his chance to be promoted when Jamie Little's calling the Daytona 500.
Stop. You're going to speak it. Everyone's going to speak it into existence. Let's go to the super chat stage break. How about that?
Let's do it.
Yeah, I think we can be, for the most part, pretty fun and happy with that. Irvin Alvarado left 2 before we went Live saying, coming soon, NASCAR on Fox, AI NASCAR story with bad AI generator and weird spelling like Chams. Can't wait for Jeff Gordon's AI NASCAR story. And then Trophy saying, NASCAR Winston Cham. You suck, Fox. Also says, by the way, your chat, all Chams today, be a Cham today.
What's the Cham meme? I don't know what's going on here.
So that meme is that they did an AI of Aaron Rodgers, and when they showed the Super Bowl win, it said Super Bowl Chams. They misspelled Chams because they're using AI because it's a lazy ass broadcast. And I've been told you NASCAR is the canary in the coal mine. Fox just across the board is not what it used to be. And then Alex said, hey guys, I'm going to Loudon this Sunday. Just praying to God it doesn't rain. And I'm definitely going to envy the winner of that big old lobster, as the commercial likes to say.
I'm sure
lobster.
if Denny wins it, he'd gladly give it to you.
If there is rain and they run it on Monday, I believe the 19 will bring out the Martin magic.
Ooh, interesting. I keep forgetting like that was a thing for a while, but it's looking pretty good for the most part. Then happy 50th birthday to the GOAT, Jimmy Johnson. That's right. It's his 50th birthday, and it's fitting because his 50th win, if I'm not mistaken, was at Bristol.
Oh, what do you know?
Barn Cat says, hang the banner for Harrison Burton as he is now AM Racing's best driver with 2 top 5s and 10 top 10s over Brett Moffitt's 1 top 5 and 9 top 10s. I won't even say hang the banner jokingly. Like, that's actually really impressive.
That's a very good year.
Yeah.
SK Abel last year.
SK Abel says NASCAR 25 releases on my birthday. PC or console? Is it October 14th or November 11th?
Happy early birthday either way, I guess.
Yeah. Mr. Penguin says, I saw this fact on Twitter, and I'm not sure if it was half or more than half of the playoff drivers have driven for Brad Keselowski Racing. I think it's true.
I think it is like 6 of the remaining 12. Yeah, did at some point or another. That's true.
Stephen Gibson says, I would watch out for Darrell Wallace Jr. in the round of 12. 23-11 is great at Kansas. New Hampshire is going to be solid if we base it off Gateway, and his best road course in general is the Roval. Yeah, I'm with you. I'd buy Bubba stock.
I can say it. I'm just not ready to commit to it myself.
Aaron, and this is Beast of Metal. I always love seeing that profile pic's badass.
Scary.
Says Aaron Andrews pulling a Mike Joy style hissy fit over criticism of broadcast quality says a lot about Fox Sports, but Jeff Burton lying about NBC's role in the playoffs days later says a lot about sports broadcasting in general. Yeah, we can talk about that for a brief moment and then finish out the last few super chats here. I don't know about the Aaron Andrews thing. I didn't see it, but that does not surprise me at all.
Yeah, I don't know the Aaron Andrews bit. I'm not familiar.
The Burton part was, I have to admit, like I saw that and I just kind of rolled my eyes like, okay, yeah, you got kind of, I feel like when, especially they're employed at those companies, like they're not going to just outright say the business practices. And it was funny because we talked about this before. Kenny Wallace was like, I don't know how NBC's works. That sure as F isn't how Fox Sports works because they were influencing everything. And I'm like, shit.
Well, that's the thing is like Burton, and I didn't listen to the full show, so I saw the clips and a little extra. But what he said was just, NBC doesn't come up with the format. We don't write it down and hand it to NASCAR and say, do this. But I don't think anyone's necessarily accusing them of doing that. I think everyone, though, understands that NBC, when it comes to playoffs this time of year, has probably the loudest voice in that room. And if they came out tomorrow and said, we don't want playoffs, or NASCAR, we really want the 10 race chase, it would move the needle. It wouldn't be the end all be all. Other people would still get a say, but it would move the needle tremendously. And I think that's the part that he just just kind of left out. And I'm not really sure why. It was kind of weird. It felt like it was like, on one hand, Jeff Burton will probably say that he really likes the playoffs or thinks the playoffs are valid and think it's a great time of year to be a NASCAR fan. But then at the same time, he's like, but don't blame NBC if you don't like the playoffs. I don't know. Like, it felt like,
see, I retweeted a tweet today about that, where it's like the playoffs are such a rousing success that neither NBC or NASCAR will claim it.
Yeah, exactly. The playoffs are great, but they're not our fault. Like what?
It's kind of moving on from that. Justin Drake here with a fitty. Damn, son.
Wow. Thank you,
Says
Justin.
this may be Joe Gibbs / Toyota's year. Through the 3 races and 1,107 laps, 870 of those were led by Toyota, 132 by Chevy, 105 by Ford, and the top 5 at Toyota are Sean Hunter with 15, Denny with 90, Bubba 95, Gibbs 202, and Chase Briscoe. That's right, 451. At 19 team, I feel like they're on the they're
Wait.
right and ready to have like 2 MTJ level laps
Wait,
led
is
crazies.
Bell not even on this list? And he has how many
He led
wins?
12. He led 12. Well, for the first 3 races of the playoffs.
Oh, my
He led
bad.
12
I
laps on
get
Saturday
confused.
night. Yeah, he
Okay.
led 12 laps. I think we can do a few more here. AJT says, howdy y'all. Bristol was an incredible experience. I got to meet Ryan Priest, who signed my 124, and I got to meet Eric at the Carrera tent. My brother couldn't ask for a better birthday gift from me. That is awesome.
Awesome. Thanks for saying hi.
Danny, I'm going to leave the next one to you. Oh, there it is. Where'd it go?
My bad. Go ahead,
Go for
Jarrett.
Yeah, there you go. This is for Danny.
SD70 Ace or ES44 AC. Both are fantastic train locomotives. Personally, the ES44 AC is such a classic look. Like that's what most trains look like. But man, because my home rails are CSX and they abandoned all of their SD70 Aces, I got a chance to see 2 of them in Arizona on BNSF rails, and they look so unique to me. I love seeing an SD70 Ace whenever I can. But both are great engines, but I got to go with the EMD SD70 Ace on this one.
I think we can finish the last couple here on this go around actually real quick. There's 2 from I Stand with 2311. Carson says, hey NWP, I absolutely love going to Wilmot Raceway in Wisconsin. I'm going to start attending local short tracks every time NASCAR is a night race scheduled in 2026. So like twice,
just to spite them.
It says, tell me why I should trust NASCAR instead of 2311 and FRM, since they only gave teams 1 day and did the worst job of giving teams a deal, unlike NBA, NHL, NFL, and MLB, who give more time to sign. Well, I think that's a big point of the lawsuit.
That is a big point of the lawsuit. Yeah. I mean, I think there was a lot of buildup to that, kind of 1 day window, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see as more comes out. We'll see just how greasy that procedure truly was.
Next one here covers one of the things we had in the lightning round. So Fred Dog 81 says David Land wasn't too happy with the Phoenix doubleheader scheduling for IndyCar. Do you think it benefits NASCAR more, or if it benefits any series? How would you have scheduled the whole weekend? I'm going to be honest, and this is from my experience at Indy. I don't think it benefits anyone. I mean, I think the fan bases are so different that like the IndyCar fan base when we were there versus the NASCAR fan base for the Xfinity and IndyCar doubleheader, it was like night and day difference. Like people left for the NASCAR race or came in, and I think it'll be a fun TV thing, but I think it's nothing more than that.
Yeah, I don't think it's a huge needle mover for either series. I agree there. I don't think it hurts either series either.
No.
And I think it's a great opportunity for Fox to promote the weekend. And I think it's a great opportunity as well for fans. Like I was not planning to go to Spring Phoenix next year because, I go to the fall race. That's probably enough. I mean, although I guess maybe I won't do fall next year since it's not a championship race anymore. So maybe I will go to Spring Phoenix because it is now, if you're just a race fan, broadly speaking, that's a destination race now to get to see open wheel and stock cars. I've never seen an IndyCar race on an oval, so this could be a great opportunity. Now, I didn't watch David's video. I don't know what IndyCar's history at Phoenix is, or perhaps lack thereof. I'm not sure when they last raced there. I don't even know if they've raced there ever. Frankly, I don't honestly know. I assume
like
they
2019, I think.
Yeah, I assume they had, but I was like, it's been at least a few years. So maybe that doesn't have a great history with IndyCar. That I do not know. What I thought was interesting, did y'all see Jenna Fryer's tweet? It was sort of a tongue-in-cheek. She said, this screams, see, we let other people race on our tracks from NASCAR, which I thought which I thought was funny until you realize that this is essentially replacing the Iowa date on the IndyCar calendar, which is also a NASCAR owned track. But it's still, that made me chuckle. I was like, oh, that's kind of a funny way to look at it. But
I do gotta say, since I just spent like so much time out in Phoenix for a while, I never actually once went and saw the racetrack while I was out there because it's not really in a convenient spot in Phoenix.
It's out of the way.
It's really far out of the way from everything to do in Phoenix. And everything to do in Phoenix is like right in the middle, and then everything more north is a little bit more, I don't know, attractive to go to.
That's where like Scottsdale and stuff is. Yeah, the track is like southwest. It's only
Scottsdale,
like 20
Glendale, those cities.
Yeah. It's only like 20 to 30 minutes from the city, but yeah, it is kind of
Not
like
far
down
from the airport. It's really not.
Let's
it's
finish
just down
out
out of
these
the way.
last ones real quick.
Sure.
NWP Pick Monkey says monkey picks this week are Bellenheim.
True.
I stand with 2311. Carson says Gladheim, Zilich, and Larson didn't win. In 2024, Truex Jr. retiring is the only reason I paid attention. I would have quit NASCAR when NASCAR made the team sign the charter deal if it wasn't for Truex's last year.
Carson has just become like, I feel like because he's like got that nice, cheese grin on his face, and he's always
for him.
I feel like he's smiling when he sends these super chats, but when you actually read them, you're like, does he actually hate? Does he hate everything we talk about on this show? We spent so much time on NASCAR, on Zilich, on the lawsuit, and I'm starting to think he hates all of it.
It's contrarian. We'll do the last two more here. One from Gavin, who says, all right, everyone, as the leader of the Kyle Larson fan club, I officially announced that we have reached red alert. It is time to panic as our savior has fallen. P.S. It's not Denny's year.
Well, in that case, it's okay.
And then Rodolfo says, as a law student, I'm going to miss NASCAR UT Law. And I think one more here.
Which UT?
He said Texas. I did ask him. He said
Texas. There we go. All right.
And then Malia leaves the last one here for now. Eric, my husband and I loved meeting you at Bristol. I was dumb and forgot to bring my Out of the Groove shirt for you to sign. We love your content. Thank you. That's awesome.
Well, thank you, Malia, and it was great to meet you and your husband as well. It was fun. There was a lot of folks came out. I spent all Friday and Saturday out in the like campground, Midway, fan zone areas, so got to meet a lot of fans, and people were very, very, very friendly. I hadn't been to a racetrack in a while, so maybe I just forgot how friendly NASCAR fans are. I felt like these Tennessee, and they came from all over, but a lot of them based in or near Tennessee. A lot of Kentucky fans, I noticed. Very kind and were very fun to talk to. So yeah, it was great to see all y'all out there.
A lot of Kentucky fans because their football ain't worth watching right now.
That's probably, and they don't have a racetrack up there anymore either, so we gotta find something to do on Saturday.
Well, guys, I think it's we went long on the super chat stage break. Totally okay though, just so that we're evening it out a little bit this week.
Good. Well done, honestly. Really
quick. It's rolling through. It's like kind of the scattered showers we've had in Tennessee all week. It is time for the lightning round. Of course, there is the NWP channel for episode replays, specials, all of that at NWP Clips. Be sure to check that out. Mark Moore from Spotify to follow up on something we talked about last week. Let us know that lone Blockbuster is in Bend, Oregon. So thank you, Mark, for that. I appreciate it.
I knew it was up there somewhere. I think I thought it was Alaska, so not quite all the way out there, but that's cool.
NASCAR 25's gameplay trailer is coming out. They had the millionth teaser today. The awards banquet. The awards banquet will be Tuesday, November 4th in Scottsdale, 2 days after the championship finale, streamed live on the NASCAR Tubi channel. So I don't see why. I don't see why people are complaining about it, to be honest with you, because I'll be honest, I watched like the clips after the awards banquet. I don't really watch it. Ever.
It hasn't been worth watching in years. Ever since that one comedian guy made fun of Danica one too many times, it's become no fun to watch.
Fun. It was amazing to get to attend it a few times in person in Nashville. Just got to say, that's experience of a lifetime for me.
I would love to attend it. I find 3 hours of everyone patting each other on the back, and I'm like, I could just watch that in a press conference.
Yeah, it seems like a more fun in-person experience.
Yeah, there's probably so much more in person.
I love it in person. Sorry, we're derailing.
No, all good. Next week, just to let you all know, next week, where is it at? We'll be on Danny's channel. Wednesday, September 24th. Our buddy Grant from Auto Racing Analytics will be on, heading into Kansas. So it's always fun. That's like, it's become a tradition now. Every time we head to Kansas, Grant comes on with us. So it should be a lot of fun. Be sure to check that out. But of course, we still have a whole half of the show to go here. That was the lightning round. And really quick, I'm not going to make it a whole segment, but you know how the whole Phillies Karen was a big thing this past week, where she took the baseball from the kid. Well, so I was talking to my post race shows this week that I had a similar experience back in 2007 at Michigan, back when they did NASCAR race day. And I talked about how
did someone steal a tire from you, a lug nut from you?
So they tried. So one of them was the beads that I've brought up before, but another one. So back in the day, it was sponsored by the Home Depot. It was NASCAR race day, I think, built by the Home Depot is how they did it. And with it, they handed out these hard hats right here.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. And so like that was like, they tried giving me a hard hat, and this woman, probably like in her 50s, tried tearing it out of, I think I was
ripping off your head.
10. So no, like I had it in my hand, and she tried ripping it out of 10-year-old Jarrett's hands, and it was like and my parents had to pull me away from her because she was like going crazy, and she was going after everybody. Like
she moved on to her next target. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. It was just like weaponized idiocy.
Maybe she takes workplace safety very seriously. She's like, I need a hard hat to be in this area right now. I got to get one.
Jared, that's definitely more of a rare item in terms of Home Depot hard hats. I've got a college game day Home Depot hard hat, but you've got a NASCAR race day one,
and it's signed too. So I went to Chicagoland. So that's it's been like 20 years. So and it's plastic, so the Sharpie kind of wears off a bunch. But it was signed. Like this side, I got signed by Rusty Wallace, which is really cool.
That's a nice signature too.
On the back here is Casey Kane, AJ Allmendinger. I think this one was Jeremy Mayfield, David Rudiman, twice by Rutledge Wood. He signed it and then put, I signed this. And then Brian Vickers. So
that's like the who's who of like that late 2000s NASCAR right there.
2007 is right before Mayfield completely fell off the map. I got Kane,
Rudiman, Kane, Mayfield.
Mike Harmon in the chat saying would love to sign it as well, my friend.
Yeah, we got to get this to Mike Harmon, man.
There's got to be an Applebee's nearby.
Yeah,
but I figured I'd bring that up because it was topical this week, and I'm like, I brought it up on my post race stream, and people were like, Karens were around back then. Karens have been around forever. We just have phones to record them now. Like 2007, I can't believe it's almost 20 years ago, but
this might actually be Mike Harmon. There's nothing on the channel, but it's the official Mike Harmon.
I'd be down to have Mike Harmon,
say something only the real Mike Harmon would know.
Tell us your Applebee's order right now, Mike Harmon.
Well, but that was like just its own little thing. It wasn't an official fun segment. But before we go and we get to those fun segments in a bit, let's go over and look at some of the headlines. I'll be honest, we don't have really that many headlines, and not really too much to talk on this because nothing is going to ever really come of this for now. But the gold codes got kind of leaked out this week.
It's like a whole PowerPoint presentation.
And I have it on my phone. I have some of the PowerPoint stuff. And I'm not going to bore everyone with reading through it for 15, 20 minutes, but more just like some of the bigger things with it. So like they had a chart of like things that they would have contingency plans for, like if there's boycotts for practice or at the race or support events and things like that. And I like, it's like every one of them immediate PR response. Like, I know that they have to put that there, but it's one of those funny, like, no duh. Yeah. Like we all know that. But like if they boycott practice, they'd cancel qualifying as a deterrent.
Oh, that'll show them.
If they boycott the race after the green flag, if halfway, award points and end the event. Like, if not halfway, postpone the event. Treat it like it rained to buy time.
I
So
love it.
I like that they like put a smoke screen out there with the networks.
No, it felt very much like close the curtain, like just in case. That was the vibe I got reading. And it's worth reminding everyone, this showed up in court as evidence, part of discovery. These were contingency plans for like a year, 2 years ago, if the teams had boycotted races or practice sessions. Because remember, Adam Stern, probably getting his information from Curtis Polk or from 2311, was reporting that, hey, teams were discussing possible, demonstrations, let's say, to protest how the charter agreements were going, the charter negotiations were going. So these are from like a year to 2 years ago. But the reason it's still relevant today is because I'm sure you'll get to it, Jarrett. There are like some, let's call them very like loose, rough outlines for a version of NASCAR where NASCAR runs everything to the teams themselves. And that's the part that I think the 2311 and Front Row will really zero in on in December if they can.
So I skipped a little ahead to like 6 months or less that they have to make a deal basically. And it's basically balance the field with a set of open entries, a mix of next gen, Xfinity, or ARCA vehicles.
Could have multi-class NASCAR racing if push came to shove.
That would be such a cluster. And they say 6 months or less. Next gen first is chartered, gets in, then next gen open entries that show up, then any Xfinity entries they have. And if it's really bad, that like the Xfinity ones are boycotting, as part of the alliances, they would then start just bringing ARCA teams and ARCA cars into the race, which is, yes, yours truly, Chris, says it perfectly. Would be just like Talladega, the first Talladega race, if you go back to that.
Yeah.
Which was one of probably the worst races ever. If it's 6 to 18 months, they would add existing or new charters, and they list teams that would be options to them. Now it's not confirmed if these were the actual, like ones that had like, oh yeah, we'll sign on, but they have like, Xfinity Truck, IMSA, IndyCar owners. They have like JR Motorsports, Sam Hunt Racing, Andretti, Ganassi, Ray Hall, McLaren, a bunch of other ones like, like that new owners. And they're like Phyllis Newhouse, John
My
Menard,
favorite band,
Mumford and Sons.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, Mumford and Sons. What? All right.
And they also would reduce field sizes possibly to 30 teams and 30 cars out there. But yeah, the point that you had brought up is they had, and I wish I had it put in. It just, they didn't have the,
all good.
I wasn't able to get it up there in time.
Is it bad that I want to see where like Venturini ARCA cars would do compared to like some of the lower end Cup cars?
I mean, some weekends I feel like every series
qualify
qualifies
faster.
Cup, so
yeah,
that would be embarrassing. Honestly, that would be so
embarrassing. Brent Cruz around the outside of Denny Hamlin for the win.
But they do have floor plans of like every one of the 40 possible teams they could have, and hey, they would work in the same buildings but different areas with each OEM, and they have 5 separate ones in case they got up to that many. And it's just insane. They have like the amount of money allocated per each one. They would they would supply everything from parts to buying pit crews basically, and all of the resources around it, from like even haulers. It's absolutely insane to think that if the teams like actually all stood up against NASCAR, or a bunch of them did, like how different this year would have been in particular.
And because this is all mainly past discussion and contingencies, but you could also view this possibly as a glimpse into the future window. If this lawsuit results truly in a straight up IndyCar, IRL kart split, could we see a version where the teams go off and do one thing and NASCAR does a version of this? I mean, it shows you that they've at least given it some thought. I mean, these PowerPoint slides are pretty broad, but it shows they've given it some consideration. So it's interesting. It's a window into an alternative past NASCAR, but possibly even a version of future NASCAR if this lawsuit turns out to be as nuclear as some fear it will be.
Man, weird. We don't go too far in the what ifs as much anymore, but this was one that I think was worth the squeeze for sure on it.
Yeah.
Y'all want to have some fun?
I like
kinda
Oh boy, do I!
or do I ever? Oh boy, 3 a.m. Let's.
Claudia actually sat down and watched SpongeBob me for the first time in her life yesterday. Actually,
She's never
feel
seen
like it.
SpongeBob before.
when she was a kid, it was one of the ones she wasn't allowed to watch.
Ooh.
That
What
was me till I
episode
was, like,
did she
5.
watch?
We
Had
watched
to be old,
we
right?
watched the one called Pressure where SpongeBob and Sandy were like fighting over who's better, sea or land critters, and she challenged them to go up onto the shore. And Claudia was just baffled and losing her mind when they brought out these little puppets on sticks and stuff.
Was that the one? Was that the one where they're in the Krusty Krab and they're like, "But can you do this?" And they just go,
Yeah.
"Ugh."
Yes, it was that
That
one.
is my favorite episode.
Doesn't Patrick have a line where he goes, "Sandy's a girl"?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then also attached to that one was the oyster who loses its pearl.
The giant
my
oyster is mad. Please scream and run around in circles.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
coming.
That's crazy. Well, I hope she
That's a
liked
great
it.
one. That's a great
Or-
way to kick this off. The fun
Or it rotted her
segment.
brain a little bit. That also is possible.
Probably rotted her brain.
Let's go into the predictions before we rot ours even more. So the predictions, each host makes 2 NASCAR motorsports show related predictions. Hell, at this point now we talked enough about SpongeBob. That could be a prediction if we had some like that. Predictions are kept track of each week in our accountability sessions, even if I don't want it to be this week. And we'll try and keep them relatively concise, but no promises. Danny said at least one of the top 8 seeded drivers would get bounced in round 1. SVG, step on forward. Oof. And I don't know why this one's red. I had it in green. I think it went back. You said the
And I
Bristol
didn't
night
even say
race.
all time. I said the last 20 races, but still.
Yeah. But I think those were the last 20 or so are actually about the only ones recorded.
Oh, okay.
So but either way, that should be green. So you'll be fine, and the percentages will account for that. And you said Dawson Sutton would get a top 10 in the Vols truck. Now that one was wrong.
Still got top 20, I think.
Yeah, I think it was like 17th or something like that. Eric said Connor Zilic wins the Xfinity regular season title. Just clean up duty on that one. And that 3 of the 4 Penske affiliates would make it out of round 1. And that Cleese McCarron would score a top 10 in ARCA.
Dang it. He was like 18th or something like
that. I will
that.
say with the percentages, by the way, I made sure and did clean up to make sure that all the percentages were correct. So if there's a little that don't add up, that's why I was just making sure this week that they're not like way off, which a few of them were a skosh off. Fortunately, mine is going to be lower because I did put this. Catherine Legg would lead more Xfinity Series laps than Chris Wright. Chris Wright just announced that he'll be back in the Truck Series this week on, wonderful. But this one is pretty much confirmed to be. I said Alex Bowman be in the round of 8. I made this one in like January.
Dang.
So the Bristol night race scored 35% or worse on the poll when it came to positivity. I made that one after the spring race. That seemed like a really good prediction at the time. I said the Cup race get 1.3 million or less viewers. Almost.
Oh, you were close. There. You were all over that.
Yeah. And I said the Cup winner would lead 200 more laps. Christopher Bell led 12. So Danny leads us at 37.31, Eric 35.06. And me at 31.88. So we're still under like about a 5% blanket here. All time I lead at 37.89, Danny at 33.33 repeating, and Eric at 32.97. So we're getting real close. But Danny leads us off this week.
All right. At least 3 out of 4 JGR Cup drivers will finish in the top 10 at New Hampshire this weekend.
I'll stick with Joe Gibbs Racing and say JGR continues their streak and wins the Cup race on Sunday.
I'll stick with the Toyota one. Toyota sweeps the weekend. I think people always say layup on all of these ones, but everyone said layup last week when I said that the winner would lead 200 laps. And
did you see our percentages, chat? We're all at like 33%. We usually are wrong.
From JGR to former JGR drivers, Harrison Burton will advance into the Xfinity Series round of 8.
Ooh. All right. I'll go Cup Series elimination. I think that a Hendrick car will get eliminated this round.
All right.
Chase Elliott.
I think I'll do a fun one off the top here. I'm going to say this. I think that the NWP hosts 3 NFL teams have a combined record of 1-2 this week. I don't know who's going to be the one to win. Vikings play a Joe Burrow-less Bengals, but they've been, I'll be honest, the Vikings have been trash for like 7 of 8 quarters this year. And one of those was against the Bears, so take that as you will. The Texans play the Jags in Duval.
Need a win
And
desperately.
the Colts, the red hot Danny Dimes Colts, play
Put
the
that man
Titans.
back in his Duke uniform and he's a star again.
He went through the KOC quarterback rehab school. But I'm going to go 1-2 this week. One of us will be happy, unlike we all were.
We
this
need
past
to be because we're combined 1-5 right now.
Brutal.
No shit. Wait, the Vikings have the only win of the 3 of us?
Yeah, we're 0-2. Texans
we-
and Titans.
And we only, and let's be honest, the Vikings only beat the Bears, so that's not really impressive.
It was
Oof.
on national TV, though. Everyone saw it.
Yeah.
And
Hang the
Texans and
banner.
Titans have a common loss in the Rams, so
Well, that was fun, but I think we can have even more fun. I think we can go just a little higher. Can you take me higher with the random driver of the week?
bye,
Let's do it.
chat.
See you in a minute, chat.
I love that y'all had to say bye, chat, and then I'm just watching the chat like, what's up?
You can hang out with Jarrett for the next few minutes.
What's up? So random driver of the week, we are tied 29 all between Eric and Danny. Danny last week got Sterling Marlin as well as Frankie Muniz a couple weeks ago. In the last 5, Eric got 3 of those: Mike Dillon, Jack Sprague, and Todd Bodine. So we have 20 clues, 20 questions this week, guys. 20 clues.
If Eric or I get this, we'll reach number 30 for our time doing this.
Oh my God. If Danny wins, he'll go 30 for 30.
At 30.
That's what I mean. 30 for 30. All right. This random driver is a junior. And yeah, that's a hint.
There's been a lot of juniors over the years.
Yep.
Dale Jr.
That's a band.
Yeah, I was like, wasn't that a band?
Yeah, that was a they had to change their name because Make-A-Wish kids actually got them mixed up with Dale Jr. And so like they're expecting Dale Earnhardt Jr. to show up, and they see like, you know, these 2 Seattle bros come in. Can you imagine the disappointment?
That's devastating.
This random driver began racing motocross at the age of 5. Ooh, Riss brings up a good point, and I don't think this is too much to show you guys on screen. Very well done.
That's fair.
This random driver was a regular winner at the Rockford Speedway.
Rockford Speedway and junior.
God bless its soul. This random driver won the 2011 National Short Track Championship at the Rockford Speedway as well. Ooh. Yes, Rockford, Illinois, for those wondering.
I'm thinking it's not Sam Horace Jr. then, that's for sure.
This random driver finished 2nd in points to Luke Fenhouse in the 2021 Slinger Track Championship. Wow, we're 5 in. The chat hasn't got it yet.
Said Luke.
How about
Luke
that?
Fenhouse, so he finished 2nd too.
Yep.
This is a modern person, and most likely.
Yes, maybe they're young. There's some vets that race out there. Still sling it with the young guys.
This random driver finished 2nd to Johnny Benson in the 1990 ASA Rookie of the Year points.
Okay, this is not a young guy then.
Well, I love waiting for you guys to say that stuff, and then I'm like, let's go.
I think Eric's
I'm gonna throw out a name. Is it Rich Bickle?
Is it Rich Bickle?
Oh
Correct.
my!
The pull.
He got a pickle for Bickle.
I met Rich. I think I met Rich Bickle at Slinger in 2019. He was part of like I bought like the wristband to meet Matt Kenseth, and he was there too. And I was like, I knew a little bit about him. I knew he was like a Wisconsin short track legend. I was sitting here in the back of my head, like, I think he's a junior. I was literally like, I was embarrassed to say it at first because I'm like, I don't know if he's a junior, but I'll throw it out there anyways.
Good
Did
on
the
you.
chat even get it yet?
I would have never known
One
that.
person, and it was, I think, ASA Custom Designs who got it. So
I would have never guessed that one. So good job.
I'm an honorary Wisconsinite for the day. That's what that means.
man, I even had like the amount of times we had tweeted still on deck and everything. That's awesome.
I want to
don't
hear
think
that. I'm just curious.
Eric and I never have tweeted about him. Danny, you did 3 times.
I did 3 times. That's
3
shocking.
times.
Wow.
I mean, I've heard the name, but I wouldn't have really guessed all that and that he was a junior.
Trying to see. Oh, here's a crazy one for you. He raced for Beard Motorsports in the Xfinity Series in 1990.
Yeah, so I also said that, also not knowing for sure if he'd run in NASCAR before.
He did. He did.
I figured he had to have at some point, but I didn't know for 100% certainty. I can't believe I got that. That's like, I'm kind of an idiot when it comes to like historic local racing legends. This just happens to be the one that I've like met before. Like, what were the odds?
God, well, you know what's crazy is like I was gonna bring up because he like the area he raced around was the area I grew up.
Mhm.
And at the same time that I started dating my now wife and would like, be up in Janesville, Wisconsin a bunch, like he owned a shop up there. So I'm like, I was only like a mile or so away from him at any given time. And I didn't know. And I was just like, are you serious? So that was fun. All right.
I'll take it. That was big. Woo. I finally earned some street cred for a change. Usually I'm
Eric's gonna have a badge being like, I know who Rich Bickle is.
Hey, Rich Bickle follows me on Twitter. I'm one of 180 he follows on Twitter.
Wow. Attaboy.
And I think I looked up what I had said here. I had said the Rich Bickle comeback tour of 2021 is what we all need. Congrats, Rich. And he had just won a late model race or something like that. I said, y'all go see Rich Bickle back in action before that in April. And then in December of 2020, and this is deleted, so I don't know what it was actually about. In honor of the hashtag Snowball Derby, let us never forget nearly a year ago when Rich Bickle put the fear of God into Harrison Burton, only to realize he was yelling at the wrong car. I don't really remember that incident.
Oh wait, that was him. I do vaguely remember that. That's funny. I threw up a comment. Someone said that apparently he hates Carson Hocevar, which does not shock me at all. Apparently he went on a podcast recently and like ripped into him. So that doesn't shock me, but also that's funny.
You know what's funny is like these drivers, I'll pick them like a lot of times weeks, sometimes months in advance for specific dates. Like just because I feel like it fits well. I want to have like a good rotation. And it never fails. Almost every one of these drivers, there's something within a couple weeks that people remember them for. And I'm like, shit.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Well, I can't undo it now. So all right, let's head on
so while you're doing the intro to the pick, I got to run downstairs and help Amelia kill a bug. So give me like 3 minutes and I'll be back. Sorry.
Plot twist. It's a huntsman spider.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know what I'm about to walk in. She just texted me and she's like, Cosmo and me are scared of some bugs. I'm like, I'll be right back.
Bring the aerosol.
Yeah. I'll do my best. We don't have a fly swatter here. All right. But I'll be back in like 3 minutes, I swear.
All right. Well, while Eric is off on bug extermination duty, let's head on into the Magic Mile of New Hampshire Motor Speedway. One big note this week, it's the truck playoff round 1 cutoff. So take that as you will for how it'll go. That truck race is the EJP 175, 175 laps, 55, 55, 65 is the lap count, starting at, say it with me now, noon start time. This week, Saturday at noon on FS1 and the Fox Sports app, as well as NRN and Sirius XM NASCAR radio. Saturday, it'll be nice and with a 5% chance of rain, sunny all day, sunny and nice. The last truck winner here in 2017, Christopher Bell.
I'm just curious because I know we've already got leaves changing here in Tennessee. I wonder if we're gonna get some visuals of actual fall colors at New Hampshire this weekend.
Dude, I mean, this is about the time they used to race there, and they were pretty good there.
But
So
I
I
feel
wouldn't doubt it.
we at least down here, I don't know so much about up there. We had a cool spell where literally we had some trees they were trying to change. They kind of paused because it got warm again. But up there might be different. They might be full colors.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I think it's going to look good either way. I NBC I think will be, or USA will be pretty good at showing us those during the Mobile 1 301. It's a weird name, but it rolls off the tongue. 301 laps, 70, 115, 116. The breakdown, 2 p.m. Eastern time, start time on USA and the NBC Sports app, and then the Performance Racing Network and SiriusXM NASCAR Radio. Sunday will be 73 degrees, partly cloudy, 5% chance of rain. Christopher Bell is also the defending winner of that race, which was, done with plenty of rain last year, if you remember, which I thought was one of the most badass visuals we ever saw in a recent NASCAR race. For the pick points, another badass visual for me. I lead with
gosh.
474, 26 points over the chat, 36 over Eric, 42 over Danny.
We're done. We're done, chat.
I got the Xfinity and Cup races correct with the 4 pick last week. So
better yet, let me say this for me and Eric. We're done. We're in it.
Cars killed. Points are killed. What's not killed is the bug. I could not get the bug. It was like some sort of fly buzzing around down there, terrorizing the dog. And we don't have a fly swatter. So we have like a kind of plastic like cutting board we use for like chopping up vegetables. I was like fucking swinging that shit like this. I was trying to like swat it out of the air, like onto the ground.
And I know you didn't film this.
Actually, I'm glad not. Anyway, I could not get it. So sadly, bug is still at large. It kind of disappeared though. I don't know. I literally don't know where it went. So maybe I scared it away. Or maybe it went to get its buddies so they could all come laugh at me.
We can maybe wash that off of the embarrassment of the bug escape with our truck picks this week. Danny's going to lead us off. Who do you think wins the truck race at New Hampshire?
Corey Heim.
Yeah, kind of figured. I don't know why I didn't even write that in already.
Well, because honestly, Danny took Heim last week at Bristol, and I was okay with that because I felt good about Lane Riggs. I feel good about Lane Riggs this time as well. I'll take the 34.
It's Groundhog Day.
Yep.
All right, chat. I have a feeling I know what direction you're going in, but hopefully you're not. I don't know.
Send some 98, send some 34. But they can't have 34. Send some 38. 38, 98 seem to be pretty even.
Should I pull them?
I would pull them.
Yeah, go do a quick poll.
Yeah, pull.
Oh, yeah. Brony24 Ever mentions Eckes is in the field this weekend. I think he's in, is it the 16?
38 and 98 are your choices. Let's see what direction they go in.
Chandler needs a big win. That would be clutch if he was able to pull it off.
Oh my God. Is it
even.
going? It's still even. Oh my God. It just keeps going back and forth. Oh my God. Come on.
I think 98's starting to hang ahead just a little bit.
Well, I see votes are disappearing back and forth to mess with it. I'm just going to end at a random point in 3, 2, 1.
38 pulling ahead.
Just give him Norm.
38 wins it off a technicality. So, by the way, when it says 50-49, it's usually like 50.5 or something, but YouTube doesn't round.
That's 107 votes. It's an odd number, so it's impossible for it to be truly 50-50. So I would give it to 38 in that case.
So, Chandler is the winner of that one. So I will take the loser of that one. I'll go Ty Majeski. I like the direction that 98's going. I like the direction Thor Sport's been in. And I like the track driver combo.
Yeah.
So who's going to suck in the cup race after all of that?
He's gone. I remember when he crashed primary and a backup, Alex Bowman.
Oof. It's Chover.
Bover, actually.
Oh, man. Give me... I'll go Chase Elliott. I have him out this round. I think it's because I think he's pretty good at Kansas. He's pretty good at the Roval. So I think something has to go wrong at New Hampshire. So I'm just going to bet on him. I'm doubling down.
I think the chat's going with me with Kyle Busch.
Yeah, they're going Kyle Busch. I've seen a
Fair
few
enough.
22s and 21s, but 8's been more.
All right. So who's the dark horse this week?
Ty Gibbs.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
I will raise you an Austin Dillon. Same tire he won at Richmond.
That's fair.
Chat. I mean, I'll let him know. I'm going Josh Berry as mine. I think the last curse ends now that he's eliminated. But what's the chat going with? There's a lot of them.
Yeah, there's a mix. William Byron would not be an underdog. Just letting y'all know, chat. I'm just
I think 60 is bringing a lot of speed all of a sudden.
couple of there's a few Ryan Priests. Oh yeah, whoa, a lot of Priests just came in.
It's pretty overwhelmingly 60 now.
Yeah, I mean that makes
Inspirational.
sense. He's probably one here in a modified for all I know.
Plenty of
Wouldn't
time.
surprise me. Probably one
Which
here. Yeah.
means
He won in the Xfinity Series here.
He did.
Oh yeah.
Now,
There you go.
who is going to win in the Cup Series this weekend? Danny, the floor is yours.
Who do you guys think I'm going to pick?
Ooh. I know who you're gonna pick.
Who am I going to pick?
Paul Menard.
Ooh, that's a good answer, Jarrett, but wrong.
I think you're gonna pick. I think you're gonna pick something silly like a Ross Chastain.
A Ryan Brees. A Brad Keselowski.
I think he's gonna pick.
Cody
I
Ware.
think he's gonna do it. He's gonna pick Justin Haley. That's what's about to happen here.
Picking Chase Briscoe.
Oh, not as creative.
Yeah.
I was thinking y'all were just going to think I was going to pick the monkey picking Bell, but I don't think
Call
he
me
does.
Monkey Man.
I don't think he does it. I think the old dominator of this track, the 19, when it was Monday Martin, I think old Briscoe is going to take that one back to victory lane.
The weather looks clear Sunday, so I think it's pretty clear that C.
can
Bell
do it
is
on
the
a
guy to
Sunday.
beat. Christopher Bell. That's my pick. Take it or leave it.
Right. Is the chat going 11? I don't know. There's still there's
They're clearly handling.
Yeah.
See,
Yep.
I went with Briscoe because I feel like every time I've picked an obvious monkey pick here lately, it's not gone my way. So I need to be a little different.
Yeah, they got to go Hamlin because I just saw my guy Mullet Mike in the chat, and I believe I met Mullet Mike. I talked to him at the track this weekend, and I think Mullet Mike, you were the guy I said that the chat's going to go with has to go with whoever you pick. I don't remember what the context of that was, but I saw his first choice was 11. So chat, you got to go 11. I promised Mullet Mike he could lead the chat this week.
Well,
so
now
there
he's
we
in
go.
there saying 12. I see him right there. He says 12.
I already wrote 11 down.
Where did he say 12? Mullet Mike, pick a lane. Oh, he did. No, he said 11 first. So I think you got to go 11. Give him 11. There you go.
Yeah, we're gonna go 11. I'm trying to. I
The
just
chat was
lost.
trying to change it though. I saw a lot of 12 start to come in.
I got my notes ready here. You know what? I'm gonna go then when I'm looking back and forth at my notes. I'm gonna be the Toyota defector this week. I'll go Kyle Larson. I think he'll be decent enough. I mean, he's in the next gen era. He averages a 7th place finish here. Like he's been very consistent, and for me, it was between Kyle Larson and Bubba Wallace.
I thought you were going to take Mullet Mike's backup plan and take Blaney there for a second.
I was thinking about it. Blaney is so hit or miss at times. So I'm gonna go 5 this week.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Blaney's hit or miss, but Larson, he's rock solid. You can always count on him.
when it comes to this track, he can. He's
yeah.
very solid here.
Briscoe, Bell, and Hamlin. Just 3 guys who have won the last 3 races, and then a guy who's won a ton in the past few years.
Just guys being dudes being guys.
A lot of heavy hitters this
Some
week.
blue
That's
blood.
for sure.
All right. Well, that just leaves us with our final super chat stage break, which I believe are we picking up with Justin Drake, who
I
says,
think so.
I like Jeff Burton's enthusiasm, and love for the sport. But when there's 3 different replays showing AJ pull my finger slammed into Denny and he says, "Is there contact?" All I can picture in the booth is the SpongeBob meme.
They were hemming and hawing over that Hamlin
Yeah.
Allmendinger contact for longer than they probably needed to. I don't know, they're just doing their due diligence.
NWP Pick Monkey says NASCAR 25 might as well join OnlyFans for how much they tease.
I'll take
Monkey!
that was my bad. I opened the door for that. That was on me.
Yeah.
I did not choose my words carefully.
Isaac says for Danny, this is all you. A heavy load must be pulled. What trains when you
These are-
trusted a trio?
These are like European, British, whatever theme locomotives. So I'm not really as familiar, so I had to look them up. The two E2 tank engines is an E2 tank engine is basically what Thomas the Tank Engine is. A Class 28 mixed traffic engine. I looked that up. That's basically what James from Thomas the Tank Engine is. And an A3 class train is basically what Gordon and Henry, the Flying Scotsman type locomotives are. So if I've got one big heavy load European freight train, I'm going to go with the A3 class train because that thing just looks like a hoss.
I have
When I had-
30 of a 12-year-old.
If I have like a kid one day, I'm gonna explain to them. I'm gonna like show them we're gonna go buy a Corvette on the street, and I'm gonna go like, that's a Corvette, like Jeff Gorvette in the movie Cars.
Oh,
Hopefully
my
it gets through to
God.
them.
I love it.
I know, Danny. I appreciate the Thomas the Tank Engine references. That actually did.
Yeah.
Put an
I
image
mean,
in my
just think
head.
of it like this. You either have one big Gordon and Henry, or you get 2 Thomases and 1 James. So 3 engines might look cool, but one can do the job.
Thomas the Train, co-starring George Carlin. Alex says hashtag new profile pic, just showing
Little
off my
kitty.
16, 17-year-old Hemingway tabby cat
Ooh.
Belle. Had her since 2010, and she's still spry for an old lady. Did it since my corgi Gordy gets all the profile pic glory.
A
Well,
little kitty cat.
yeah, we like cats and dogs, but that's a cute little Belle. I like that.
I'll be
Ring
more
the bell for
biased
Belle.
towards the cat since I'm the cat owner here.
Well, either way, we're gonna ring the bell. And hit the gong. Wins the championship. Oh, can you imagine the reaction? I feel like that would be just war of the worlds for NASCAR social media, because you'd have all the Facebook fans upset. You'd have all the NASCAR defenders upset for the lawsuit. Then you'd have NASCAR upset the 2311 one. Dude, that's like
I
that's
feel
like
like-
that gif of Elmo with the fire.
I feel like, ironically enough, Reddit would be the safest place.
Yeah, probably. Justin Drake says, "Is C Bell having fun now?" I don't know. C Bell, I need to
Are you
ask, are
there?
you having fun?
This is fun. We're having fun.
I think he's having fun.
That answers your question.
Ryan Idiot says SpongeBob weekly podcast. We should all just
We're
sit
all-
down and watch SpongeBob sometime together.
Where we're always ready.
Ritz Car Boy says, saddened to hear about. Oh no, this is a meme. Yeah,
Is it a meme? I don't know what it's about.
it's like a meme. I'm not getting into it. Carter for the 5 says, for all 3 hosts, if you could be any member of the Over the Wall pit crew, who would you be and why? I'd be a tire changer.
Bit of gas, man.
Jackman.
I'd probably need to bulk up and be a gas man because I'm tall. I can't be a tire changer. I'll be the over the pit sign guy because I have long arms. I can hold the pit
Actually-
sign out over the wall.
Take me back in time, and I'm the guy who's got the catch can. I'm just there to catch the excess fuel.
I just want to be the
Oh,
tear off
man.
guy. That looks so satisfying. Just ripping.
You know what we
rip the
should
tear-offs
do?
off.
We should go to NASCAR races, right? As we always do, but go in like the fan walkway and like just go up to people that are like kind of like college age in their 20s and then have a picture of a catch can and just ask how many of them know what it is. And like teenagers too. And just like, we're doing a poll, just do you know what this picture is?
That would be
And
good.
it's just it's a catch can, and see how many newer fans are like, a box? I think it'd be fun. Scotty B says Rich Bickle drove the 10-10-345 lucky dog number 45 Pontiac in Cup.
Oof,
I think he left one
mouthful.
more underneath too. Says Iceberg, is this the latest they have had a race at New Hampshire since 2001? Finale was at New Hampshire that was won by Robbie Gordon in the Lowe's 31. I don't know if it's the latest, but because remember the chase used to start way later. The first
Yeah,
week of the
used to
NFL,
start in September usually. Yeah.
yeah, the first week of the NFL was usually when we had the cutoff race. And then we'd start with New Hampshire, then Chicagoland. So I think it's around when they had Chicagoland open it up and New Hampshire was race 2. Then Speedy Racing. No, that's on me. Thank you for this podcast. It brightens my day. Well, thank you. I appreciate. I think we all appreciate the nice
You brighten
comment.
our day, Speedy.
We were talking about it last week after the show. Like we have to make a point to let all y'all know, like, you are a great chat to be with every week. Like,
Yeah.
you guys are always talking about what we're talking about and always really chill. Don't bring outside stuff into it. And like, just, we don't say it enough. Like, thank you for being so cool. Like,
Yeah.
just round of applause for the chat. Y'all
That's
are
good, chat. Bring the gong. No, I did not bring the gong, but
well, we don't have to bring the gong because we have
there it is.
for the chat. Y'all have been
great.
awesome. And
We don't mean to ever take you for granted.
I just
we
realized,
don't say it enough.
Jared, hearing you play that sound effect, you had 2 train super chats. You didn't once play my noise.
Oh, crap. I'm sorry.
Keeping you honest.
My bad. That's another one on me. Speedy Racing says, as a Lions fan, week 1 was terrible, but this week was certainly encouraging. Also, Eric, I really want you to create perks for your channel. I do it.
I haven't done that. Yeah. Maybe in the new year, I might look at doing some like extra content and stuff, but it's just hard to, I want it to be worthwhile. I got to find the time to add all that stuff in, but yeah, for sure.
Members can watch you play Fortnite like old times.
Oh God.
His birthday is September 25th. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Speedy Racing 15.
Justin Drake says, Grandpa, Grandpa, look, I finally won. Are you proud of me? Joe Gibbs, you won a stage, you dumbass. Why can't you be like your teammates and win a race? Oh, baby.
Dang.
We need Michael to just come on just for this super chat and then like pop off.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that'd be hilarious.
Hunter Nixon Fishing says, it surprises me how stupid some people are when I see people on Facebook sharing the picture they actually believe to be true about Bubba Wallace wanting to change the white flag. I swear whoever made that had to be like under the age of 25. And it's like, hey, let's just troll the Facebook crowd. And it worked gloriously.
It's so sad how quickly disinformation spreads on the internet. But yeah, I mean,
let's put the white flag on the white flag. Alex says to Danny, technically Henry is a 460 black 5, at least in the old books. Danny, that's all you.
Hey, I'm a American who just knows a little bit about the trains over there. I'm more of an American, modern day freight fan.
Our trains ride on the right side of the rail.
That's a weird thing. I don't know if there's any correct like way for that, because I'll see tracks that are going different directions, and I guess it depends on what way they're eventually going to go and what side of the track they're actually driving on and what direction.
Side note, my wife's in a Facebook group for our like town up here in North Texas, and apparently they've started installing some like roundabouts, like at intersections, like at some neighborhood intersections.
You're just getting those?
Yeah, well, there's a few. There've always been a few. I mean, I've seen them, but they're not super common here in Texas. But like, all I can say is the Facebook post has created quite the uproar from local Texans, not sure how to handle a roundabout.
Well, that's like we have one for the town me and Jarrett live in, and when they were adding one in by the Sam's Club, it had people so messed up and so bothered, like we just expected everyone to not know how to use a roundabout, and they just go.
Remember, Danny? I lived right next to a roundabout. I got to see a car crash.
Yeah.
Remember, because I came outside, right? Like I just see this car just like fly into the roundabout, and I like look out the window and I see it hit a tree. I'm like, holy crap, you know?
Yikes.
Yep.
Well,
And, like, the police
so
are-
I was making fun of it because in the Facebook group I saw that they were having like a whole town meeting about the round, like here, come by here to learn how to use the roundabout. And I thought
Oh
that's a
my
joke.
God.
No way, right? Now you're convincing me that people actually don't know how to use roundabouts. So now I'm a little
No,
scared for the safety of
no.
my neighborhood.
That was the thing about, like, that was funny about it is, like, you know, I just saw it like, I kind of saw it happen, and, like, the officers were right there immediately, so I was like, "Oh, okay," and then, like, you know, more of them showed up, and so, like, I went out on my balcony and started watching, and there's this woman that's just, like, screaming her head off about it, right? And I'm just like, I was actually sitting there, like, I don't think I was eating popcorn, I was eating something like popcorn, and then she, like, looks at me, and she goes, "What the F you looking at? Huh? What you looking at? What you looking at?" And all I said was, "Bitch, you ran into a tree. It's hard to miss." And she got so mad, and the officer came up to me, and he's like, "Hey, like, just so we can, like, calm things down, like, could you go inside?" I'm like, "Yeah, no
Whoa.
problem. I mean, this is just my house. I live here." And he goes,
Just take
"No,
it
I
easy, man."
totally agree with you. It's just, like, she's going crazy back there."
Did he
Yeah,
just go
yeah.
full on neighbor looking at the curtains? Ooh.
I was. I was, like, looking over Sully's cage. NWB Pick Monkey says, "In honor of the lobster, what's your favorite NASCAR trophy?"
Martinsville clock.
Yeah, but I wanna try and give one more, just to be unique with it.
Nashville
This
guitar is cool.
The guitar is pretty cool. I'll give you that. I actually think the Bristol, the night race trophy
The
looked really
sword.
nice.
You guys are sniping all the good ones. I was like,
I always liked because it
Look-
was, you know, my home track. I loved the old spring Texas race had the like big like mount, the plaque with the cowboy boots.
oh, the 6 shooters too. That was so
And they give them the
badass.
guns. Yep, that was cool too. And the black hat. The whole thing was fun. I enjoyed that.
Underrated one. It's gone now. But Auto Club that had the car with the trailer and you put the die cast on it.
Yeah. Oh, another one that's gone now too. Remember when they would make like the big bass or the big bear statues for Bass Pro Shops race in Atlanta? Tony Stewart had like a 12-foot tall bear statue.
Oh my gosh. No, I don't remember that one.
Oh.
That's insane.
Danny, if you want to look that one up and send it in our chat, I might be able to put it on screen before the end of it. Chris says Micah Parsons is waiting. Go 12. I'm not reading the middle part. Sorry. As much as they're college football fans, that's how I am with the Vikings Packers one. I respect y'all. You're good.
Mhm.
I ain't going far enough to say that shit. And Finap says, if only NASCAR was in 1984 instead. Are we talking about the novel or the year?
Yeah, I don't know what the reference is there.
Justin Drake says, hey, Danny, going back to last week as a USF student and fan, you're welcome for beating the Gators.
Dude, the Gators might actually go 1-11 this year. They just look atrocious.
I am so out of the loop with college football. It's honestly
Like,
funny at this point.
they better be glad they got a good basketball team just won them the national championship because their football team, Tennessee plays them in November. I'll be going that game. They will not have their coach by the time we get there. That man will be fired.
Thomas here. Did you see Door Bumper Clear Crew jokingly didn't want to see Connor Zillich win because of his post-race mishaps, and he would have been wielding a sword?
But by the way, speaking of victory lane, I sent a picture of Tony Stewart and the trophy.
All right, I'll save that image right now. I'm just gonna go smoke, and then I think I'll be able to share it on screen. Hopefully. Man, I hate how the saving stuff is on X.
When you described it to me, I was thinking like they actually gave like a full-on taxidermy to the driver, which that would also be a cool trophy for the Bass Pro
would.
Shops night race. You get a taxidermy deer.
So that's what I was picturing, honestly. So now I got to see what this is.
Here, I'm gonna send it to myself then, since you got it there for me, and then put it on screen because we got a little time we can still burn. But while we're at it, Elijah says, just want to brag to Eric that Ohio put up more points against Ohio State than Texas did. It was 9-13 in the third, ended up being 9-37. Was mainly luck, though.
Yeah, I texted I have two guys I work with, and I texted them because they're big Ohio State fans. It's like, are you guys awake over there? What's happening in this game?
Yeah, Texas offense is not smooth right now.
There you go, by the way. Oh,
Oh, my bad. Oh, wow. I don't remember that. That's insane. Oh,
why
my
are these
gosh.
circles now?
Whoa.
I kind of like us in circles. Go back.
Oh, I don't know how to. Oh, there we are.
Hey, wait, and now
Weird.
put a comment up. Look, it'll hide me. Yay! I'm Mike
He's
Wazowski.
Danny. Yeah, Danny turned into our Mike Wazowski. But there's the bear. Is this the bear all those women said they would choose back like a year ago when that trend was big?
Oh gosh,
That's crazy trophy.
like it's twice the size.
Wait.
Hey, we're circle still.
We're in the Brady
Whoa.
bunch now.
We're in like cruise ship portholes. All right. That's crazy.
I think Gridflow is next. Says NASCAR is the only thing I'm pro car, more trains.
Yes, more trains. Let's go.
Do they have train racing, Danny? Anywhere?
At Daytona
Well,
and Talladega.
I mean, at times there'll be cases where there's two trains that are going down the same track as each other. They're essentially racing each other. They really are, basically.
There you go. I remembered it this time. My favorite train driver is Choo Choo. That's bad. Adam here says, "Hey Danny, going back to Justin Drake's super chat as a UF student, I'm gonna cry until basketball season." I am so out of it.
Adam, I will be at the Tennessee-Florida game. I've been on the Florida campus one time on my way to Disney and actually walked into the stadium. It looks like a beautiful campus. I can't wait to see game day atmosphere there. I'm hoping. I've heard bad stories about Florida fans, but I'm hoping that the mood will be low, that they're not as bad as they usually are.
I wasn't laughing at what you said. I'm laughing at this super chat here. Says, y'all are forgetting the greatest trophy in history. Kevin Harvick's stage win trophy in Atlanta. That Rodney Childers is like,
he's like,
it's like, really? And then Justin Drake says, can't wait to see how Elliott fans blame everyone but Chase Elliott. He's been choking the last few weeks more than Houston's defense on that final drive on Monday against the Bucs. Oh, ooh, I didn't
just
watch
taking
that
shots
game.
at everyone here, Justin. My goodness.
I didn't watch that game, but my condolences, I guess.
It was rough. It was Texans offense was clunky, but then special teams got us field position. We got the lead, and then Baker went like 80 yards in less than 2 minutes, and
damn, Baker's good.
Crushed my hopes.
It's
Amelia
amazing
was
what you can do when
watching.
you're not in Cleveland.
Yeah, Amelia was watching with me, and she broke my heart. She proved she loves Baker Mayfield more than me. I always suspected it. Now I know it for a fact because she was cheering on the Texans' demise. It was so sad. It was so sad.
Side note, since you're talking about that, and people were talking about the Florida team earlier, shout out to a guy who's always in our chat, Champa Bay Beast. Somehow, long story short, I ended up with 4 tickets to the Tennessee-Florida game, and he's actually going to buy 2 of the extras I had for him and his friend from Tennessee to go to the game. He's a Florida fan, so shout out to him for being up to go to that game.
Elijah here with the 2 says to follow up Ohio's and the MAC. You're speaking Greek to me,
Big
but
Mac?
these 2 know.
That would be like saying they're in the UFL playing an NFL team, basically.
Ooh.
And then Alex says, in Australia, there is the annual Hunter Valley Steam Race. Check it out. It's 4-wide steam.
I think I've seen this before. It's pretty cool.
Okay,
No?
that's kind of sick, not gonna lie.
Write that down real quick. And that's it for tonight. Thank you guys so much for coming on out. Next week, of course, we will be on Danny's channel. Grant from Auto Racing Analytics will be joining us for that one. And then in a couple weeks, on October 8th, we can confirm Michael Marutz will be on with us. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Good stuff.
Yeah, definitely keep an eye out. Thank you guys so much for a fun night, for just being awesome as always. And I guess we'll see you after the run at the Magic Mile. So toodaloo, y'all. Bye.
Started off right now. Right on, come on.
Clean outside.
3 wide.
Unbelievable. Great playing. We're going. I like the aggression. Let me drop the great car. You can go to all those guys up there. They can suck it.
What we're about to do is not a good idea.
All good. What is he doing? You gotta be kidding me.
Half the pack is flying apart.
They're so nice to see at the line.
Oh, pack of cars come piling in as well.
Coming the way. Hello. Come back on him.
That was incredible.